cloud is great. It solves a lot of real-world problems, but it's not just one cloud anymore. Public clouds, private clouds, edge clouds. The average business uses 5 different cloud providers. It's become chaotic and complex, with unpredictable costs, inconsistent security, multiple management tools, and different formats for workloads that span cloud platforms and providers. But it doesn't have to be that way. The Dell Technologies Cloud, powered by VMware, can be the one constant across your clouds. It brings consistent infrastructure and operations to your multi-cloud environment, so you can choose the right cloud for each application. A public cloud that lets you easily tap into services. A private cloud that's fully under your control. Or the edge with cloud as a service. With a true hybrid cloud experience, your business becomes more agile with simple workload migration and easy onboarding for new assets. Your teams get to market faster with simplified operations and automated processes. You reduce risk and strengthen your security profile. And with Dell Technologies Cloud, you have flexible consumption options, reducing your total cost of ownership. Like it or not, the business world often requires many clouds. Now, that's easier than ever, with consistent infrastructure, operations, and services across all your clouds. You get the cloud without the chaos. The Dell Technologies Cloud.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the TiE50 Awards session, where we have presentations by the winners of the TiE50 Awards. Before I start, I wanted to just thank a few people. My co-program chair, Vipul, who has been very helpful in picking and selecting the companies. My name is Kamal Anand. I run the TiE50 program for the last 3 years here at TiE. But the people who do the real work is Genevieve, who's part of the TiE office and has been extremely helpful in putting this event together. And she's going to be running some of the slides today as well. Along with her, Gayatri and Kalpi have been helpful as well. As you all know, TiE is a volunteer-run organization, so we thrive on people volunteering their time and people who are passionate about helping other entrepreneurs. Genevieve, if you can go to the next slide, I can explain a little bit around the TiE50 program. The TiE50 program is an 11-year-old program where we invite entrepreneurs and startups from all over the world to apply to build awareness, network, and potentially get funding from the attendees and investors. It has been a highly successful program over the last 11 years. There are 29 exits of the winners that have 29 exits over $100 million. There have been many more exits. Some of these companies have gone public. Some were acquired for over 100 million by other companies. More importantly, 84% or more of the companies have actually raised funding moving forward. In aggregate, they've been funded with over $1 billion. So again, a highly successful program to build awareness, get some mentoring, and help entrepreneurs from all over the world. If you look at the 2020 applicant pool, again, this is a unique time where we have moved to a virtual format. But we had applicants from 10 countries, from Australia, Japan, UK, Mauritius, so quite wide diversity. But even from the United States, we had applicants from 10 states, which means entrepreneurship and startups are alive across the US. It's not just Silicon Valley. In fact, one of our goals here at TiE50 is to encourage diversity of applicants from different parts of the world, different states, as well as from women entrepreneurs, etc. And even India, where we have a reasonable brand, I was pretty pleased to see that there were applicants from 6 Indian states that applied. So again, it's not just the core cities that applied, but even from remote parts of India, some new innovations are going on. So pretty exciting time from that perspective. Let me first introduce the panel of investors, and then I'll talk a little bit about the format and the go forward plan here. So we have broken down today's session into 2 sessions. The first session is primarily more early stage companies. However, since it's a virtual event and people are dialing in from India and from Australia, etc., we have taken some of the companies that potentially are later stage and put them in the first session. So we're going to run about 19-20 companies in the first 1.5 hours. And there are 4 investor panelists that have partnered with us to give feedback and do Q&A. I want to quickly introduce them. Sandeep Sardana, who's co-founder and MD at Blue Point Ventures. Ethan Isaacson, who is part of Dreamit Ventures and specifically leads their healthcare practice as well. But Dreamit also invests in secure technologies and in urban development. Neeraj Saran, who's an active angel investor both in TiE Angels as well as the Indian Angel Network, and himself an accomplished VP of engineering and entrepreneur previously. And then finally, Purnima Venkat Narayan, who's also an angel investor associated with TiE Angels and other entities. And also her day job is with SAP as a vice president there. So again, an accomplished set of entrepreneurs, but more importantly, people who understand early stage companies, what it takes to succeed, and are also putting their money behind some of these things. The format for today is pretty crunched, I guess, because of time and a lot of companies. So we're going to basically give each company the opportunity to present for 3 minutes. We have asked them to pre-record the videos. So we will play the videos first, and then there'll be a live feedback Q&A session for a couple of minutes. We will like to keep on schedule because there are 38 or so companies that are presenting today. And I apologize up front if some of the videos don't run well. We are discovering there are some challenges doing this video stuff. So I'm also requesting the companies that are coming up to be ready if their video does not play well and they want to present live, they can do so as well. But effectively, we want to limit that presentation to 3 minutes or less, and then give you a couple of minutes to get feedback from the investors. I've asked all the investors at the end of the session to sort of pick their top 3 companies that they think are interesting, will succeed based on whatever criteria they want to use. So there's no strict criteria of this. As TiE50, we necessarily do not rate the companies, and we don't say this is the best out of the TiE50. Each TiE50 company is a winner, and that is the whole goal here. But to make it more interesting, as you're pitching to the investors, as they're asking Q&A, we would love to kind of hear at the end of that first session which of the 3 companies that they expect to succeed in a big way, and they would write a check if it was their money, if they were going to write it today. So with that, without too much more time spent on the introduction, I'd like to hand it over to Genevieve, who's going to start with the first company. This is the second investor panel, so we can move on, Genevieve, which will be later in the day. And the first company, again, companies are calling in from India, Australia, etc. We've given them the chance. It's like past midnight there. So I do appreciate them staying up late as well and presenting to the audience here. So with that, I'll hand it over to Genevieve. The first company is Biz America. So we'll play their video, and then the individual who's the CEO or founder who's online can unmute themselves and open it up to Q&A. And all the panelists should also unmute themselves at that point and ask questions. So with that, Genevieve, if you can play the video.
As the world reopens, ServiceNow is helping customers make sure going back to the workplace works for everyone. Introducing the Safe Workplace apps and dashboard. 4 apps specifically designed to help ensure the health and safety of your workforce and workplace, all housed in a single dashboard to give you a comprehensive look into everything you need to know. And they're available now, out of the box, powered by the Now platform. Get a bird's eye view to make sure your employees are prepared and ready to go back to the workplace. Manage inventory levels across your organisation thanks to workflows that automatically replenish supplies. Screen and verify the health of your employees, and help manage workflows for cleaning, sanitation and safe distancing for employees. 4 essential apps, 1 comprehensive dashboard. Together we can make sure going back to the workplace can work for everyone. That's the power of the Now platform.
Hi, I'm Rahul Bhanose, CEO of Bizamica. We offer EasyDocs AI platform for cognitive document processing. We help back office departments of our clients to reduce document processing cycle time and cost by over 60% with improved accuracy and user experience. Let me tell you a story. One of our clients was looking for a solution to process large volume of handwritten forms. They tried a few Indian technology companies, but they did not get satisfactory results. Then they tried a Japanese company that did not help them either. Once they saw our output, their business head said, this is the best they have seen till now. Such statement has come from a top private sector insurance company in India, ICICI Lombard. Higher document processing cost, rework cost, and stringent SLAs are the major challenges faced by the operational team and the management. EasyDocs solves this problem by getting meaningful information from a variety of document types like native PDFs, scanned PDFs, images, and so on. Currently, the market is growing at an average 75% CAGR, and we are targeting only 5% of the top segments, BFS and healthcare. That itself is $200+ million US. This is a sample screen from our EasyDocs platform, and these are the variety of document types which we are currently supporting. Our USPs are advanced search like Google search on the discovered information and higher handwritten accuracy. We already have competitive advantages as we are working with the top 10 Indian companies, Larsen & Toubro. We are in the process of filing for US patents, and we have processed 800,000 documents in a month. Our next target is to become the leader in the insurance space. We are having two largest private insurance companies in India as our clients. Our pipeline is also looking very strong due to the large companies from insurance, NBFC, and financial services. Our go-to-market strategy for the next 2 years is to focus on India, US, and UAE through direct sales and partnerships. Our product roadmap is aligned with the same. We already have a tech product company partnership. Our revenue streams are through subscription and one-time setup fee. Such pricing model helps our clients to take the decision faster, even during the current COVID times. The projected revenue for December 2023 is 7 million and December 2025 is $35 million US. We are looking for $1.5 million US to expedite the platform and the product development and to scale in the US. Our leadership team is from the premier institutes and have expertise in technology, delivery, and sales. So these are our recent awards. Thank you. Hi. Hi, good afternoon. This is Rahul. I'll be happy to take the questions.
So I would invite the investor panelists, Neeraj, Sandeep, Purnima, Ethan.
Hey, Rahul, can you hear me?
Yes, Sandeep.
So a great presentation, by the way, very quick. Quickly, you summarized all the good things. Just a quick question on the market. I didn't understand what the market size was. You said you are focused on the $200 million segment of the overall market?
So it's 15 billion market, but right now for the next few years, we are just targeting on 200 million plus.
What's your vision there? What do you expect this company to do, let's say 5 years out? I know you shared up to 2025 in terms of revenue, but in terms of what this company could be?
Yeah, I think because we are currently planning to be the leaders in the insurance document processing, and subsequently we will be like lending is another area, healthcare is another area. So with this, we feel that after 5 years or 6 years, we will be fitting into the jigsaw puzzle of some large companies.
So that sounds like an M&A strategy, something you would follow.
That's correct. Yeah.
If I can ask, I saw your projections for revenue. How much is it currently, and what is the mix between professional services and the licensing fees at this time?
Yeah, so currently we are going at 50-50. That is the first year, like compared to last year, we will be still growing at around 30% or so due to the pandemic situation. But our projections are kind of 3 times for the next 3 years or so. So that's the growth we are looking at.
And how much is the current revenue?
So current target for this year is 250K due to the current pandemic situation. And from there, we will be like tripling for the next 3 years.
Okay.
So just chipping off of what Neeraj asked, you have a mix of professional services and licensed revenue. 50-50 is what you're saying, right? Is that the ratio going forward, or there's a change in ratio?
Going forward, by around third year, we should be 75% from the subscription, right? And around like 2/3 of our revenue from outside India. And currently it's exactly opposite. So around 2/3 is from India right now.
So my question is kind of different than on the revenue model side, but for your customers, what happens when you're successful there? So what? Your platform is successful. What's the downstream effect of that?
Yeah. So fortunately, we have pretty large customers. So once we are able to execute one use case, and then the second use case starts, and the third. So basically, it is like one, then two, and then multiple. So that's the depth.
So it sounds like a big land and expand within these accounts, right? Because the use cases build up pretty quickly, is what you're saying?
Yes. So yeah. So we have all our platform which supports any new document types to be supported in just few weeks. So it could be as less as 1 week or as more as 3 weeks. So any use case implementation is very, very fast.
Guys, thanks. I think we have 38 companies to go through, so we need to stop here. Okay, we can follow up offline.
Yeah, I'll be happy to take more questions offline.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Genevieve, you can.
Thanks, Rahul.
Thanks a lot. The next company is GameC. So Genevieve, if you can play that.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Yogendra Chordia. I'm a co-founder of Stroken. Stroken's Mo Symphony is designed ground up to digitize pharma contract manufacturing supply chain. Pharma contract manufacturing supply chain is very inefficient, as collaboration between the brand owner and contract manufacturing organization is extremely manual, resulting in loss of sales, inventory write-offs, and scalability
Sorry, we
challenges.
can't see anything, guys.
Hey, Genevieve, can you play the video again? I think the video is sort of not showing.
Also, it seems to be video of a different company. Satish, if you have your presentation, why don't you cue it straight?
Yes. Let me take the control.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, please take, please share your screen. Thank you.
You'll have to stop sharing, Genevieve, first.
Okay, Satish.
Okay, so yeah.
Try to share your screen. And other companies as well, please have your presentation up on your screen just in case you need to share.
I hope it is clear.
Just talk through this, Satish.
Okay, perfect. Good afternoon, investors. So I'm Satish, co-founder of GameC. I'm sure everyone here must have played some video game in your life. If not, I'm sure you must have seen someone playing it. Did you know that the League of Legends Worldwide Championship Finals in 2019 attracted 100 million viewers? The interesting point is it was more than a Super Bowl game. Last quarter, Twitch got a jump of 58% in streaming hours from the previous quarter. Esports will be bigger than Hollywood movies and music together. With the growth of mobile economy, game streaming market is shifting from the PC and console to the mobile gaming globally. So here we present the Twitch of mobile gaming, that is GameC. So GameC is a mobile first platform for the mobile gamers to live stream, discover diverse communities, participate in gaming events, unforgettable experiences, and unlimited opportunities. We have a strong base of 20 million downloads in 3 years with organic marketing and growing at a pace of over 5 million every quarter, witnessing over 100 million piece of content being created and shared through us on the third-party platforms. In the journey of last 1 year, we extended our capabilities for our gamers to use GameC for the content streaming and sharing. This has brought the first wave of opportunity for monetizing the content for our gamers through the GameC. Our geographic presence across 100 plus countries in 40 different languages made us really global product. Our presence and leadership in the emerging geos like India, Indonesia, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia to the developed geos like USA is among the top 5 gaming markets. So dear investors, the fact that we are the first mover in one of the fastest growing mobile category with an already installed base of 20 million downloads to build deep engagement with our content creators in some of the most attractive markets. This makes GameC a very attractive investment option. We are targeting to achieve 100 million ARR in next 5 years. So join us on our journey and help us realize our passion. Thank you very much. And now I'm ready for your questions with almost, I think, 40-50 seconds bonus brownie points. Thank you.
Yeah, we can give you 40-50 seconds, Satish.
Hey, Satish, what's the ARR right now?
We are, last year we did around 80K. This year we have a run rate of around 150K. But the catch is, as of now, so the revenue is only coming from the utility that we have actually floated on the store. The content is not at all monetized yet. So by next quarter, so we are targeting. So if that goes well, so it will be over 1 million, the target.
How much have you raised so far?
We are just bootstrapped. Me and my co-founder Atul, so we have self-funded as of now.
How large is the team right now?
The total team size is 12 for this product.
And are they mostly developers?
Developers, and we have an internal digital marketing team also. So 3 people in digital marketing, the rest developers and designers.
So the revenue today, where exactly is it coming from, you said?
So this is the utility so that the gamers use to stream the game. So whenever they use the game, so it is basically an ad-based utility. So whenever they use it, so they have to, there are some ads coming in between. So it is basically in-app advertising.
Okay, and are you using the standard ad exchanges like the Googles?
Yes, we are. Google is our primary network, and Facebook is the second.
Is there a particular reason why Twitch couldn't create a system for mobile gaming?
Yes, so Twitch is more dominant in console and PC gaming. Even if I tell you one fact about the Twitch, so Twitch get 40% of its traffic from a third-party utility, so which was used by the gamers. But in our case, so we have the utility as well as the streaming platform now.
I think, guys, we're out of time. Satish, if you can stop sharing the screen, please.
Sure, please.
Okay.
So I think I can take up the questions offline separately.
Yeah, I think a good thing is you're sharing your information, and I think there are a lot of angels and VCs in the crowd. There are about 1,000 people in the room actually who are watching this right now, so you should expect some calls and stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, there are 1,000 people in the room.
Yeah, okay.
Kindly stop sharing your screen so I can share my screen. Thank you.
I thought I have stopped that. So is it okay now?
No, we still see your screen.
Okay. Yes.
Stop your video as well. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. SP Robotic, please. Yeah, play the video.
Hello everyone, I'm Sneha, CEO and co-founder of SP Robotic Works. Our company is all about enabling a generation to create versus consume and equip them for the real future. When we talk about real future, we're talking about an automated and a robotic future. That's what these younger generations are going to face. And we started our journey designing and developing hardware kits of different technologies to enable these younger generations to learn with it. The backbone of the company is all about providing practical and experiential learning in technology. But the biggest problem across the globe is an effective trainer who knows all of these different technologies, and making them available for every single student across the globe is the biggest problem today. And we solved it with technology, and with $1 million investment, of course. We developed an AI-powered learning platform which is coupled along with our hardware kits that makes the learning completely automated. We have 2 channels of delivery today. One is the online, where you can directly order the kit, get it delivered, and start learning. And the other is the assisted online centers, where we have dedicated centers set up with computer labs and a facilitator to help the children learn online. The robotic kits are also available at the center, making the learning affordable. This channel helps us penetrate deeper into the further zones of India and other countries. A quick look at our kits and technologies that we provide. We have robotics, Internet of Things, virtual reality, augmented reality, circuit building, programming, all of these delivered in a fun, loving manner. And the best part is the community activities that we couple it with. That creates the adrenaline rush for the kids, the kid delight, the kind of thrill that they have in these competitions keeps our brand passion off the charts, thereby helping us keep up our #1 position in the robotics education sector in India today. And thus we made trainerless learning a reality in India. Today we have 83 dedicated centers where online learning is provided through assistance. And apart from this, we are present across 14 countries through our online direct classes. And we have served 5 lakh plus customers in just 3 years' time with hardware kits and courses in coding, robotics, drone, Internet of Things, virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, Android app development, and so many more. We're the most awarded and recognized robotics platform in India today. And thanks to Tycoon for recognizing us. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hi, I'm available for questions.
So what level of understanding do the students get through your platform? Is it a high level understanding of how they work and what the industry looks like? Or is it an understanding to the point where they can build it themselves and it's more of a, a university level class, for example?
Yeah, so we have different age groups per se. So we have courses for 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and then for 14-year-olds and even 20-year-olds. So when it goes a little higher and higher, on the age, we have the courses more specific to the level of the industry standard. So the machine learning course we have for a 10-year-old as well as a 20-year-old. But obviously the difference is huge in that front.
What's the impact due to COVID right now? Centers mostly in person, right? And of course, you have hardware. So how do you manage with the hardware?
Luckily, we have not been able, we have not been affected on the logistics part here. So we've been able to ship it across. 1 month was a kind of a tough job here. So we were managing with our pure online courses like Android app development, AI, which does not have a hardware kit, but has a software kit. So we were managing with that during just this 15 to 30 days. Then we had the logistics back and we were able to ship all the parts to the respective houses. All our centers are closed right now, but We have all our partners doing online sales in their respective areas. So I think they are also sustainably going through this COVID period. I think we'll come out in flying colors. So we've seen about 174% growth in the last month alone across the nation. Yeah.
In terms of revenue or in terms of
revenue?
So how much is the revenue?
So we are clocking this year. We are clocking a $2 million revenue on the pathway of $2 million revenue.
So where
is this all recurring revenue?
Sorry?
Is this all recurring revenue? Meaning, is this one-time revenue, or how do you tell me about your monetization strategy, or how do you sort of business model?
Sure. So when the students come in, they kind of pay for the course that they join. So let it be online or offline, they're going to pay for that particular course and they're going to join there. So it'll take anywhere from 2 to 3 months for the child to finish one particular course. So it typically, we see an acceptance of about 5 to 6 courses for one particular child. So that's the level to which there are renewals happening in our platform today. So the average, the average spend for a particular child is about 25,000 in INR. So that's almost.
Got it. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Guys, unfortunately, we're out of time. Genevieve, if you can cue the next company, please.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Hi, I am Dr. Parvez, an ophthalmologist by training and CEO of ERC, an integrated phygital eye care company. We help people see better so they live a better life. And over the last few years, we have helped 370,000 people see better with less than $1 consultations, optical products starting at $4, and cataract surgeries starting at $30. Globally, there are 2.2 billion people in need of eye care, and 80% of them could be addressed with an eyeglass and a cataract surgery in some cases. From a child who is myopic and needs an eyeglass, to a person at 40 years who need a reading glass, and with increased life expectancy, there may be need of cataract surgery. Eye care is involved in the entire life cycle. The challenges that are faced by a person, we have identified into 4 A's: affordability, accessibility, acceptability, and availability. So we have built the integrated patient-centric eye care model, and over the last few years we have built hospitals. We do mobile units that go to outside areas of the hospitals. We have stores that provide services. But over time we realized that we have to leverage technology to optimize the value chain and provide better value to our patients. And the IPCC came along, lot of technology integrations happened, and continue to using our blue ocean strategy and the human-centered design to understand how things can be better and easier for our patients. This has led over time to a 50% further reduction in incidental expenses for our patients, 70% of the services being provided at the doorstep, and 100% increase in the total addressable market with the same physical infrastructure. We are looking out for partners who can help us leverage this across the Southeast Asia. Thank you. Hi everyone. This is Dr. Parvez.
So one of the things you mentioned was cataract at $30?
Yes, that's the entry price, yes.
Okay, and then do you do what, cataract cams, or like what is the kind of volume and scale at which you do some of your?
We have currently 4 hospitals, and we did before COVID 12,000 patients per month across the 4 hospitals that we have. And till today, we have done 370,000 patients with 10,000 cataract surgeries and 125,000 eyeglasses being delivered. And it was 50% before use of technology, that's home delivery of eyeglasses to our cams and other channels. And now we are aiming at a 70% home doorstep services.
Well, that sounds pretty impressive. I mean, how does it compare with other kinds of organizations or eye care centers?
So, I mean, I don't know what I should say, but we are the only phygital eye care company. We are not channel centric. We are not online only or offline only. And plus our target market is the base of the pyramid, which is the 80% population in Southeast Asia. So we are trying to create systems and processes where the incidental expenses are decreased and the entire system works in an easier way. So even if you don't have a smartphone, we have a healthcare network which has a smartphone which can use the system and use 3D try-ons and stuff like that. So that it's like democratizing healthcare for the communities in Southeast Asia and Southland. Yeah.
All right. And you're looking for partners? Are you looking for investors? What really is
I would say investors. We had raised some funds earlier, but now we are looking for a larger fundraise to expand across Southeast Asian countries, to be specific, for the next 2 years, and some further deeper penetration into the current geography, that's Eastern India, which is again underserved, as you might know. Assam, West Bengal, these areas are underserved, Northeast India, where we are based currently. And also other adjacent areas like Bangladesh, then Thailand, Bhutan, Indonesia, Vietnam, those countries also.
Thanks, guys. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
The next company is going to present from their screen. So Genevieve, if you can stop sharing.
AMP Global, share your screen, please.
Great. Can you hear me? This is Derek.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll start my clock for 3 minutes. Great to meet you. I'm Derek Ashong, founder and CEO of AMP Global. We are a gender balanced team that has deep interest and deep experience in both Silicon Valley and in Hollywood. Our solution is big data for big media. We let media know the audience the way that e-commerce knows their customer. And basically by using a gamified proprietary app and a suite of tools that enable us to take our technology into other people's ecosystems, we give content owners X-ray vision into who is watching and why. The way it works is very simple. We looked actually at the opportunity in Africa. We realized that there was a lack of data usage. So let's say 70% increase in usage of bandwidth over the course of the first 6 weeks of the lockdown period. In Africa, it was 7% 4G penetration. Why? Because the data is per capita the most expensive in the world. So we created a system where you can actually develop ad-supported data. People come into the platform, have ad-supported data, engage for free, watch and share. The game engine recognizes your participation. You're in the top 10%, 5%, 2%, etc. And those fans can get free data packages, discount phones, etc. And by doing it this way, that data package can be brought to you by Coca-Cola, McDonald's, etc. And this can be the gateway to the internet for youth across Africa and from there scale around the world. We have a model where the ad-supported data enables us to onboard media companies into our platform. We currently have media partners reaching 400 million people around the world, and that leads to massive user acquisition. That combination of interactive content plus an owned audience gives the potential for explosive growth. Now, there are a couple of areas that we're starting, and I want to actually go back into this part of what we're looking for, and I'll highlight my screen. We actually have a couple of very interesting partnerships. One is with ITV, which led to a deal with Apple. for a new series that is powered by our technology that will be launching on Apple TV Plus next year. In addition, we have a series that's launching across Africa with a series of partners called the Mic Africa. Then we have a follow-up, the Mic India, which will be launching in the second quarter of next year, followed by the Mic Asia. And all of those shows that are done with media partners and producers leverage our technology to understand who's the audience, to interact with the audience, and to literally provide that deep data analysis of who's watching and why are they watching, which is a gold mine of data for brands and advertisers. We've raised $2.5 million of a $3 million seed fund led by prominent investors in Silicon Valley as well as across Africa and Europe. And we're looking to raise the final 500,000. Thank you for learning about what we're doing, and we're happy to answer any questions.
Sounds like you were right on time there. Nice.
Thank you.
So I guess how does the data that you guys gather compare to the data that other media companies can get, or is this prior to them going live?
This is a great question. So it depends on who the media company is. So for example, if you say media company in terms of Netflix, Netflix has got fantastic data on everything happening inside their ecosystem. If you're thinking your media in terms of the production company in Hollywood, the studio that built that show for Netflix, they get zero data. They know literally nothing about the audience, not even basic demographics. One way we explain it to people when they think about digital ecosystems, you put up a video, you get 10 million views. Great. When you come with the next video, how do you reach the 10 million people? You can't, because Facebook, YouTube, etc. will tell you how many people watched. They'll never tell you who they are. And that is the difference with us.
And so your ultimate customer would be the production company?
Not necessarily. We think the ultimate customer are actually the advertisers, the brands, because now, you know, kids don't really pay attention to 30-second ads. So branded content is the way for advertising. But how do you measure the success of that if you don't have any metrics? And so we think that the advertisers, the ad agencies, the brands, the media companies, and the creators, as well as a lot of the celebrities and influencers, all want to have that long-term relationship with that customer. They want to be able to calculate the lifetime value of that customer, which is next to impossible if you don't know who your customer is.
Quick question. What are you seeking and what is your background?
So my background, grew up all over the world, went to Harvard as an undergraduate, did my PhD research again at Harvard on how trends in open source software map onto ideas of open source content, worked with many luminaries in the field from Oprah, Steven Spielberg, got 3 Emmy nominations along the way, and scaled interactive media assets to 300 million households. So I'm an expert in how do you build big, scalable assets across multiple platforms. We've raised $2.5 million. We're looking for another 500,000 to close our $3 million seed.
Gentlemen, we're out of time, unfortunately. Thank you very much, Derek.
Thank you so much.
Genevieve, if you can cue the next one, please.
Please stop sharing your screen. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vinod, and I have with me my co-founder, Iega. The fact that we are making this presentation to be shared with you 10,000 miles away is a testament to how rapid virtual interactions have become mainstream and the new opportunities it has created. Sales and marketing teams worldwide are now adjusting to this new normal of remote selling.
Having access to information to be efficient in sales has never been more important. Content is the single biggest connector between internal teams and customers. Yet finding that right content in the right context to make a successful sales conversation is difficult.
And Paperflight solves exactly that. Paperflight is a content experience software that helps sales reps easily find content, create custom content experiences, share easily, and track how audience engage with that.
In a sense, a Netflix for internal sales content. Since we launched, Paperflight has become the go-to content platform to manage all sales and marketing collaterals.
Paperflight's smart search algorithm combines the best of our unique indexing methodology, user behavioral patterns, and a proprietary AI tech to identify your sales rep's intent, and surface the right content at the right time in the right context. We transform your existing sales content into interactive, personalized experiences for every prospect, every account in no time. And our technology allows reps to understand exactly how each prospect is interacting with your content, understand their behavior and intent so they can create tailored follow-up conversations at the right time.
Knowing what content works at each stage of your sales cycle, what patterns your best sales reps follow, enables you to focus investments on creating content that drives sales pipeline. Here's where we connect content with revenue.
And with 100 customers worldwide from 30 countries, Paperflight has reduced the time spent on finding content from 20 hours a month per sales rep to less than an hour.
And that is 19 more hours to do actual selling.
And rated the momentum leader by G2, a market leader in customer reviews, Paperflight has been the highest rated content experience software in all 19 measured content categories. And today, we're a team of 18 employees. And since our inception over 2 years ago, Paperflight has doubled revenues year on year to become a profitable venture.
And we're looking forward to an amazing journey ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Good afternoon.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
So two questions for me. The first is, do you guys integrate with Salesforce or other CRM systems or sales kind of process systems?
Absolutely. Thanks. We integrate with over 25 different tools that includes CRMs, marketing automation systems, sales engagement systems, in the very ecosystem that sales and marketing teams work on a daily basis.
And in that integration, are you guys still a separate platform, or does your content pull up as automatically as the sales folks are doing their jobs?
Absolutely. It's integrated tightly in a way that it resides within this the platform. It also has a native solution depending on the customer and the plans that they are on. But the data is very connected because we always look at integration. One is from the ability to find content within the systems that they operate. The second is to add intelligence on top of the existing data that already resides. And that's where the performance come into play in terms of identifying how content is helping move the needle within the organization.
Right. And then I guess the other question is are you raising currently, and how much and what for?
Sure. So we're actually beginning our round of fundraising. We raised about $400,000 in 2018. We are in the market in about a month or so to raise a pre-series A of $1.5 million shortly. And that would largely be in terms of scaling the growth. We see, thanks to the new model of remote selling, this market has accelerated at a much faster pace than we would have originally thought it to, and we wanted to capitalize on that opportunity. So,
where are you guys based?
Out of Chennai, India.
Any customers? What's the distribution?
Sure. So about 50% of our customers are from the United States. We have about 100 customers worldwide, including the likes of Siemens, Australia, New Zealand, to Carlsberg, to S&P Global worldwide, but predominantly 50% of and above are from the United States.
And it's a SaaS
typical.
model.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to check what are the typical sales cycle usually look for you?
Sure. So it starts depending on a mid-market customer from a trial period. We offer a 14-day free trial. So from there to about 3 months for an enterprise deal, that's the max that we've had so far.
Guys, unfortunately, we are out of time.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Paperflight.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Genevieve, can you put the next one, please? And I think for Aromatic, the video is not working. So if you can present directly, take control of the screen, please. Aromatic. Aromatic, are you online?
They are online, but I don't see them on audio. So I think they might be having some technical glitch. Maybe we can
Let's go to the next company. We'll come back to them. Genevieve.
Akila, but Akila also is, are you able to present?
Akila is here, guys.
Can you present online? Can you?
Always. We're always ready to go.
Yeah, that's the startup.
We had a video. I guess video didn't work, but we can.
We are the video. We made the video. We are here, so no worries. We got you. So
Okay.
I think I'm going to ask my co-founder Srini to join, but I can start.
Yeah.
Oh, Srini is here. So let me also share the screen and we can talk through that. Let's see. So Akila Systems. So Srini is the co-founder and CEO. I'm one of the board members and co-founder. We are solving the problem of insurance fraud. Because insurance fraud is a huge problem, happen all over the thing. We have found a unique niche inside the insurance fraud, which we have developed the product, we have deployed the product, we have data to share with you how well the product has worked. Now we're ready to raise money and scale it. So Srini, why don't you introduce yourself, then I'll introduce myself after you.
Great. I'm Srini Madala. I'm the founder and CEO of Akila Systems here. I've been in industry for about 20 years, and we worked in workers' comp insurance for quite some time in understanding the business. And the product that we developed is, is deployed. We have a $1 billion publicly traded company for the last 3 years, and it saved millions of dollars.
Yeah, so like Srini, I'm a Silicon Valley veteran. I've done many companies. So Srini, I have cooked this up.
Yep.
But this is specifically inside, we focused on workman's comp fraud. And inside workman's comp fraud, we specifically about provider fraud. Because that's where we're starting. We plan to cover the whole thing. So Srini, maybe talk about what is provider fraud and why should people be excited about this?
Yeah. So provider fraud is one of the biggest components of workers' comp insurance frauds. And it is very fascinating because it's very difficult to do investigations and identification of this fraud manually. Unlike claimant fraud, which is people who feign sickness when they're not, such things can be done through social media and private investigations and stuff like that. And so provider fraud is significant in terms of the numbers and complex in terms of identifying it and addressing it and prosecuting it. And that's the reason why it's important.
Yeah. So this is an example of different, see, software is good at detecting automatically, continuously what's going wrong. So same places keep billing about the same things. Something is wrong. You suspicious connection. There are all kind of the wrong codes being used. So this is what we developed the product, and we use machine learning technique to get better and better in detecting fraud. So one customer said, we saved $19 million in 1 year alone. So
Right.
That's significant. So do you want to talk about some of the product features?
Right. So the product basically involves a significant amount of internal data, and then we'll also have external interfaces from sources such as FBI or medical boards and things like that, and also social media feeds. The features that we have are, in addition to providing in-depth analysis and giving predictive analytic information, using claims analytics and billing information, and also provided scoreboard for making sure that you get to focus on the top 10 or 20 providers who are likely to be trouble. We also have what is called as a link analysis, because the significant frauds and complex frauds occur not in isolation, but in collusion. So those are the most difficult ones to do it manually, and even through standard reports and stuff like that. That's where we come into picture. We have a module called link analysis, which helps in identifying patterns within the different parties, including providers and claimants, sometimes with other third parties who collude together to basically build the companies and build millions of dollars.
Well, I think we'll just take some questions from you because our 3 minutes are almost over, but the short answer is product is designed, product is deployed, founders have been funding it so far. We have funded about $750,000 so far, and now we're ready for institutional investor and scaling the company. So let's take some questions from you guys.
So first question for me is, do you have sensitivity or specificity numbers around the algorithms that you've built?
We do not have the exact numbers, but so far, I think we are focusing on making sure that we don't have false positives.
So we have data. We have data to share. If you are interested, we'll do a deep dive with you guys. But you are building the machine learning model, and we couldn't have built it without collecting a lot of data. So we do have tremendous amount of data we have accumulated.
Sure, sure. And then are you training the algorithms with each customer's individual data, or is it one large data set that you then apply to each customer?
Both, because there's some customer specific algorithm, but it's also, we have the common core is also being trained based on the data being collected, because eventually, today we have a handful of customers, but eventually we'll have many more. So we need to have a customer specific layer, but we have the core layer, which is training for everybody.
So who are your customers?
Currently, it's been founder funded.
No, customers, like
customers. Yeah. Srini, are you willing to share or able to share who are the customers?
Yeah. So one of the publicly NASDAQ traded company called Employers, which is a $1 billion publicly traded workers' comp insurance company, has been a customer for over 2 years, and we also have the next 4 years of extension of license.
So to come back to your data sets, right? How do you get, this seems to be proprietary internal information. Are these insurance companies willing to provide that, or is this data available publicly?
Yeah, so the data is not publicly available. There are certain information. If you look at the fraud, it involves internal data, which is proprietary, and also external data, which some of it is not proprietary.
Yeah, metadata. So that's why you have two layers. The proprietary data is the layer with the customer specific. The metadata is layer which is again we use for all customers.
We don't have specific access for personal proprietary data of this customer to use it for other purposes, but our system has access to it.
Are both of you working on this full time? This is your next step?
I'm doing full time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a board member and an advisor, so I don't have the operational. I'm running my, but Serena is totally running it full time.
Okay, guys, I think we are out of time.
All right.
Genevieve, if you can play the next one, please.
Actually, next is Hermetic. If these folks are
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Naeem.
Thanks. We've been having some technical problems on presenting the videos. Hermetic, are you able to share your screen?
Hi, my name is Amy Ariel, and I'm CMO at Hermetic. We founded the company about a year ago, and we just completed our A round of financing. The entire team are cybersecurity veterans with previous exits, and so the first thing we did when we started the company was to interview CISOs and ask them what their biggest concerns are. And what we discovered was that identity and access is one of the biggest risks and one of the biggest unsolved problems in the public cloud. That's because there are thousands of machine identities. It's very difficult to understand what their entitlements are. It gets even more complicated, of course, in a multi-cloud environment. And security controls are, of course, shifting left to developers and to DevOps teams that are primarily concerned with velocity and agility rather than security. So as a result, what we heard was that visibility and control over IAM configurations was a very big concern, along with achieving least privilege and trying to remove excessive permissions in cloud infrastructure environments. And of course, that's why breaches like the one that took place at Capital One today are still taking place, because identity-based policies are the biggest attack surface today in cloud infrastructure environments, and they mean the difference between simply gaining a toehold in an application and spreading laterally until threat actors are able to access sensitive data. It's really difficult to solve this problem, which is why excellent security teams like the one at Capital One still missed it. It's very difficult to know who has access to what, who is accessing what resources are exposed, and that's because with thousands of different identities and thousands of different policies interacting, it gets really difficult to determine what the risks are, let alone to do that at scale. And that's why we founded Hermetic. Ermetic gives you complete visibility into all of the entitlements and in your environment, as well as the ability to automatically analyze them and understand what the risks are and work toward least privilege. We enable you to identify unused permissions, to remove them, to identify anomalous behavior, and to gradually work toward a secure least privilege environment. Just a few examples of what our customers are doing with our platform. They're auditing third-party access to their environment. They are detecting unauthorized access, governing federated users from single sign-on platforms, as well as administrators and developers with privileged access. And of course, they're protecting those sensitive resources that are so critical to everybody's business today. If you'd like to see more or learn more about Ermetic, we would be delighted to show you. Please visit us at ermetic.com. Thank you.
So is this based on machine learning, and are these anomaly detective kind of scenarios?
So some of them are. Some of them are very deterministic, like determining if a specific identity needs access or does not need access has two aspects. One is deterministic just by measuring what he does and he doesn't do. So just tracking behavior over time, and that's not machine learning. And the anomaly portion is. The anomaly portion is more taking into account what ifs, I would say it that way. But yes, it has both aspects.
Where are you today in terms of revenues, and then also what are your fundraising plans?
So I'll address the fundraising. We just actually raised our A round led by Excel. So we just raised a total of $17.5 million. So we have a total of close to $30 million invested in the company. We're growing very rapidly. We've acquired around 30 customers in the year that we've been around. I don't remember the exact revenue number, but we're growing very fast.
Okay, I guess if there are no questions, we can move to the next company.
Thank you.
Yeah, Finverity. Genevieve, if you can play, please.
Hi everyone, I'm one of the founders of Finverity, and let me please paint a picture for you. Today we live in a world where startups, small businesses in general, are discussing survival, not growth. And that is not where we should be. But this problem really started a long time ago. In 2017, a study by Bain, together with the World Economic Forum, discovered a $1.5 trillion funding gap in global trade finance. They also estimated that by 2025, that same gap would reach approximately $2.4 trillion. We believe we are way closer to that number than 5 years. About 74% of the gap identified in 2017 came from SMEs, and over 60% of them were located in emerging markets. This is the result of incumbents in the financial industry being complacent, not investing sufficiently in technology, and not putting enough emphasis on the backbone of the economy, which are small and medium businesses. However, we believe we can solve that problem. But critically, we believe that we can finally solve it now. Firstly, technology enablement is now allowing us to take processes that were done before in days, in some cases maybe weeks, and do them in hours. I'm talking about KYC and AML onboarding of customers remotely. It doesn't matter where they are located geographically. I'm referring to payments, reconciliation, and all the very complex and expensive back office processes that were the main deterrent for SMEs to be funded. All of this can now be done via technology, via automation, and through clever system design. Secondly, regulatory change is really taking the world by storm, and as a result of that, the 10 leading banks that were responsible for over 90% of the flow in global trade finance are really slowing down. But that is not bad news. What that means is that there is now a gap, and there is now a market shift. We see new entrants into the market, non-banking financial institutions in the forms of family offices, credit funds, asset-backed lenders. There's a wide variety of them which are stepping in, and they're very interested to fill that void. But their risk and return appetite is really more inclined towards mid-market and SMEs, and that is really good news. The problem is they need a system an origination channel, and more importantly, the infrastructure to be able to run this business at scale. And that's exactly where Fiverity comes in. We operate two different business models. The first one is a platform model. In this one, we connect mid-sized companies and their underlying supply chains of smaller companies with these funders. The funders would purchase the invoices, effectively unlocking liquidity on day one, and the supply chain finance facility is then to roll on for years and years, resolving the issue and reducing that 1.5 trillion funding gap considerably if we reach scale. However, we are aware that reaching scale is not something that will solve the entire problem. And for that reason, we have a second business model, a SaaS offering, where we take the technology and the approach that we have developed and proven that it works, and we're now giving it to incumbents in financial markets, factoring shops, smaller banks, for them to better service their clients and to help us in our mission of reducing the 1.5 trillion funding gap. Thank you for your time, and we hope you have a fantastic event.
Hi everyone, happy to take any questions.
So I believe the KYC and other requirements, aren't they a lot of country specific? So how
They are indeed.
Right. So how does the platform manage that on a scalable manner?
That is a very, very good question. So we are obviously focusing on a few countries one at a time, or rather jurisdictions, not countries, because areas have certain similarities between them. But then what we do is we integrate different service providers into our platform, right? So for example, in Africa, we would use people like Smile ID. In Europe, we would use people like Onfido. But having the processes in the background and the checks that they do is not enough, because each bank or each non-banking financial institution actually has their own internal processes around KYC and AML, and that starts all the way at data collection. So the trick is, how do you first get that data reliably from your customer? Then how can you verify that the data that they provided is accurate? Then run those checks through IDV and AML checks, which is done through third parties, and then return something for final approval from the compliance team. So we basically leverage the solutions that these players around the world, such as Onfido, which is now a global company, have created, but we allow a solution which is customer facing for the banking industry to actually get that data reliably.
Okay. And in terms of metrics and KPIs, like what kind of numbers do you have to show how much faster or more efficiently the platform?
Very good question. So that depends, because obviously we are looking across quite a wide variety of processes, but I can give a few which I think are the most impactful. So we implemented a system just at the beginning of COVID, which was probably the most telling, because it was a forced transition without any training for either suppliers or the customers or the actual team. It was kind of a forced transition because they needed to work remotely. Customers needed to have access from home. So what happened is the following: with a brand new system who no one knew how to use, so the support phones were ringing all the time, I have to admit that, they effectively went down from 6 to 7 days on average of onboarding a new client into actually disbursing funds from the first time. That went down to 2 days on average across all the new clients that were onboarded. At the same time, we saw utilization of finance, which was increased by approximately 17% for clients which have been doing the same volume of trade consistently month on month for over 2 years. So what that means is that the simplicity of the system and the fact that they were now able to, in 3 clicks, sell an invoice drove an actual increase in revenue for the financial institution who is taking care of the factoring operation.
Thanks, guys. Unfortunately, we need to stop here.
Thank you very much.
Fiverity, please add your contact information in the chat, and people can follow. Okay, thank you. Genevieve, next company, please. I think we have done Aquila, Appclips. Thank you.
Hello, this is Ashwin Radia, the founder and CEO of Appclips.ai. Apps are unfit in too many situations, such as ordering food, renting a bike, or networking at an event. For example, event apps have completely failed due to download friction and low usage at previous TiEcons and other conferences. In comparison, our event app clips are sent by email or transferred at the check-in kiosk, leading to 100% open rate and much higher usage as the interactions are available on the app clip itself without downloading an app. And for virtual events, our event app clips can embed Zoom or other video conferencing systems and provide the much needed extra layer of security and interactions. As events are very important to membership organizations, we offer customizable member app clips that enhance interactions at member events and in general. For TiE Charter member app clip, they said, "Fantastic initiative, super excited. We feel TiE 2.0. Appclips.ai is the only solution in the market that supports highly customizable no-code app clips for both events and memberships, and allows instant customizations to enable just the right set of interactions at every event. We have a huge lead in the market from our unique IP that includes no-code app clips, management tools, and digital wallets. Membership and event space offers opportunities in tens of billions in TAM and hundreds of millions in SOM. In our SaaS model for enterprises, we charge $1 to $10 per use with 60 to 80% margin. Our go-to-marketing strategy is to expand from TiE Global to other professional organizations. And our Eventbrite integration allows us to target 4 million events a year, and our reach can be further expanded to other event platforms. For Appclips.ai, this is the most opportune time because Apple is launching native app clips this fall, which gives a huge tailwind to our app clips that work on all devices. Please join our team of experienced executives that have launched many businesses and worked extensively with enterprises. Thank you.
Hello, this is Ashwin. I'm here to answer any questions.
Ashwin, is Apple doing the launch or your app is launching on Apple's iPhone? I mean, the App Store.
No, so independent of us, so we are developing this tech for last 2 years. Apple is launching what is called the native app clips. So based on a QR code, it will simply launch an app clip without having to download the app. In comparison, what we are doing is that we are offering app clips that are universal, that work on all platforms. Again, we are doing this independent of the Apple. This happens to be a coincidence. It will give us a huge tailwind.
Okay, yeah, so this is a new feature, right, that they're launching now with the new iOS version.
Yes, yeah, it's just, this is coming out, and I think in 3 months, it will be a new vocabulary of everyone. What is app clip? And that's why Appclips AI has a huge opportunity because of the timing.
And so are you guys actually creating the app clips for the separate apps, or are you sort of an intermediary layer that connects it to the OS?
No, so we are not native apps. We are universal apps, app clips. So these are built using the web technology. We have a platform in which you can, without any coding, you can create app clips for events, membership, and other areas. And we can work with enterprises to create their own no-code app clip sort of platform.
So I'll just follow up on that.
We are ahead of.
So explain the user experience. Apple launches its app clips natively. Somebody scans a QR code. Are you involved in that process? What happens?
We are not involved in that process. But
okay.
What's going to happen is that a business that wants to put the QR code of the Apple app clips would have to also put another QR code for the Android and some other devices. Compared to that, they can choose to put our QR code next to it, and it will launch on all devices. That way you will not have that platform glitch.
Yeah. If somebody scans your QR code, it would launch on Android devices, would launch on Apple devices. That QR code would be separate from what Apple would do natively. Got it.
Okay. Correct. Yeah, and it will launch our universal app clip, not the Apple's native app clip.
Got it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Looks very interesting. Please follow up in the chat panel. Genevieve, next company, please.
Hello, this is Vijay Viswanathan, founder and CEO of Atico. We want to thank TiECon and TiE50 judges in selecting Atico as a TiE50 winner. This is a motivation for building a long journey to make better customer data for product teams. This is key to increase visibility for product teams, allowing them to make better data-driven decisions. So why is that needed? Product managers are a very cross-functional, multifunctional team where they have to understand what customers are asking for, what are they complaining about, how deals are won and lost, what is the long-term, short-term product strategy, and what the competition is doing. So data is all over the enterprise, either buried in different systems or lack of access. So it's extremely difficult to get access to this data, see it in one place, and make sense out of it. So today, PMs cannot uncover actionable product and process improvements, and decisions are not entirely backed by data. There comes Attigo. We provide all of these through APIs where we connect to customer data platforms. And we use assisted AI to create actionable insights from all of these systems. The way we do it is we bring in the data, we run through our algorithms, we make suggestions, PMs make the final decision, and then they prioritize. And they get these valuable heat maps and dashboards where they can know what to focus on. The market is about 15 million product managers globally, with about 6.5 million in the US alone, which is about a $4 billion US addressable market. We have competition. Product Board is more in terms of road mapping. Monkey Learn is more text analytics. Our focus is to make product ops and product decisions much better through our platform. And we are also focused on verticals to scale that. Now, our differentiation is assisted AI with automation, stakeholder collaboration, and enterprise integrations with Slack and Microsoft Teams. Our plan is to onboard with a steady growth to start and then ramp it up much faster once we have the feedback and the platform solid. So our pipeline is we are looking to do an ARR of 450,000 next year and scaling up to 10 million by 2023. Our team is multifaceted from marketing, growth, product, AI, engineering, and other aspects from all of these companies. Our monthly burn right now is pretty low, but we want to scale the team by hiring data scientists, hiring growth teams, enhancing our tech, acquiring customers, and hitting an 1.5 million ARR. So our ask is 2 million with an 18 to 24 month run. I would love to answer any of your questions. Looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Do you have any active pilots running or customers already in place?
Sorry, so we are getting into a beta cycle right now, and we have about 10 interested users that we are running pilots with and getting feedback at this point, and we're going to continue to scale from there.
Could you maybe give an example of the types of insights that your platform would suggest from the data that you're gathering?
So some of the samples would be one in terms of which are the features that are most used or most requested, and then where are the common themes that are happening within the product. So some places where it's not about conversion or drop off, but it's more of what is being used, the feature usage, and how that helps you grow. We have about 5 or 10 different aspects in terms of growth patterns, retention patterns of users, how the stakeholder inputs and feedback happen. So those are all the common themes at a higher level in terms of growth, acquisition, retention, and stakeholder, how to bring insights into product.
Thank you, guys. I think we can go to the next company, Genevieve. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm the founder of Butterflies Dating and Socials, made with love for love. As an electromagnetic engineer, I love to solve complex technical issues. There are plenty of dating apps out there I've used in the past 4 years, and there's still a lot left to be desired. Say in just 10-mile radius, there are about 15 to 30,000 single people. That would take you 5 to 7 years to match with someone just in that 10-mile radius. But wait, dating apps provide you 100 to 400 mile radius to swipe your life away. Basically, it's designed for you to stay single. Butterflies provides you quality over quantity and helps you save time by 75%. Butterflies helps you find someone similar enough to be lovable, yet different enough to be explored using our patent-pending Myers-Briggs type indicator, which is a behavioral psychology and personality-based matching algorithm. We help you find those butterflies in your tummy and a relationship that you really want to cherish for your lifetime. We use voice-enabled registration so as to really keep real users on the app and minimize those bot-related issues which are very typical in dating apps. We also have a patent-pending creepy meter feature which blurs your screen from viewing any toxic and abusive content sent to you from someone who's having a bad day. On Butterflies, you can have audio testimonials, references from your friends, family, coworkers who want to vet you as to why you're an amazing catch on Butterflies. This helps you find someone really authentic and gives you more credibility, which is very hard to find on dating apps. So next time, when you find someone in your family or your friend who says it's a date, you will ask them to download Butterflies Dating and Socials. Thank you. Hi.
Up for questions.
What's your traction right now? How long have you been doing this, and
Yeah.
how many users do you have on the platform?
Currently, we haven't started marketing yet. So it's a pre-revenue and we kind of just finished our product with all the new features. But we have IP for our main unique algorithm, which is the MBTI personality-based matching. And this algorithm has been used by another app, which has raised 2 million just last month for the dating app itself as well. But we have the IP for it. I mean, we have filed IP for it.
And how do you plan to do your marketing to get people on your platform?
Yes. So for marketing, we are focusing on both India and US market. So because I'm very comfortable with the Indian market, it's going to be very easy. We have already spoken to influencers who want to market even for free for us because it's a real issue. So there are a lot of single people who are influencers who are also, who are willing to help us with it as well. So yeah, we are planning to start with India and scale here as well, both. So both in India, US markets, both.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Butterflies. Genevieve, next company, please.
Everybody, my name is Robbie Ambley with Sakino.
Hi, I'm Meredith, part of the Sakino team. Doctors are becoming data entry experts instead of patient care experts. Patients are looking for medicine to go back to the way it was when doctors could look them in the eye for care. We need to be able to connect people for affordable, on-demand healthcare that is outstanding. And Saffron is the way we're going to do it. The Saffron system is a portable telehealth clinic powered by artificial intelligence.
Monica. Hello. What we're going to do today is show everyone Saffron by Sakino. Okay. And the teleclinic is powered by Ginger AI, which means that you as a patient, any facility that uses Saffron, and everyone around the world will have the opportunity to be connected to any doctor or any specialist anywhere.
So you're going to be bringing this to my house going forward?
Yes.
Cool.
So what Saffron does right here at your house is take medical measurements, connect you to doctors, and connect you to any specialist we might need to talk about your case today.
Excellent.
First thing I'm going to do is attach this to your finger.
All right.
And you'll see right on the screen what your pulse oximeter reading is.
Cool.
99%.
99.
Next thing I'm going to do is take your pulse.
All right. 84, 83.
Is that your time?
No, this is fine.
All right.
All right. I see my BP. It's 86 over 135.
Yes.
Thank you.
Those are the basic measurements that Dr. Amblay asked for today. I'm going to connect to him, and you'll be able to talk to him. All right? We can also bring your family members to you. So you have a sister who's been your caretaker?
Yes.
We could bring her in. You'll see here that there are other video screens.
Okay.
All right?
so my sister can also join in going forward. Good. My pain is still bad. A session with the doctor, and I wanted you on the call with me.
Okay, fine. I mean, I'm here. I'll just stay here till the end of the call.
Good evening, Ms. Padmanabhan. How are you?
I'm doing very good, doctor.
Good to see you. I see all your basic vitals given out a healthy normal reading. How are you doing? How's your arm still?
My arm is still hurting really bad. The therapy doesn't seem to help.
Have you done anything about it, Ms. Rob?
Nothing other than whatever you prescribed earlier.
Why don't we call Dr. England that we have in the network here that can take a look at yourself.
All right.
Okay, Mrs. Pad. In reviewing your case and considering Ginger's recommendations, I recommend an ultrasound to rule out any issues. And then Dr. A can prescribe additional physical therapy for you once we discover what's happening.
That'd be great, doctor.
Thank you, Dr. England. I really appreciate your valuable time this evening.
Dr. Amble and Dr. England will be able to take a look at all of your medical records and that ultrasound, and then we'll be in touch with some follow-up.
Keep me informed as to what I need to do.
I will. Thank you so much for your time today, and thanks for letting us use the Saffron system.
Thank you.
So does the in-home nurse come as a part of that, or is that just part of the demonstration?
All right, it's part of the demonstration. This is a software platform that can power a telehealth case or a card. So this is for home care. This is for a facility. As simple as if you were to drag it around, it can be a telehealth case anywhere. And if you were to put it on a bedside, it can be a telehealth kiosk.
And are the clinicians on the platform employed by you guys or contracted?
The way this goes is the clinicians are subscribed into the Saffron Telehealth Network. The providers are subscribed into the Saffron Telehealth Network. Our primary focus is long-term care. Our secondary focus is to build corporate telehealth networks.
I have more questions, but I don't want to monopolize the 50 seconds or so.
Yeah, you can always
Does this, you know, a lot of these people wear some sort of a wearable. Are these devices connected to your Saffron system?
Very good question, Sandeep. You know, the power of the platform, it's a ubiquitous platform where you can plug in any third-party biometric device, any third-party workflow, any third-party EMR, EHR, HMS, works on wired, wireless, cellular, SATCOM. You can run it in any kind of a storage and distribution environment. Just to give you an example, we are running in both AWS and Azure. Since we are partnered with Advantech for all our industrial design and co-innovation and hardware integration, we are partnered with Microsoft as a knowledge partner, and we are a RRK ready kit with Intel. We're progressing very fast to be a market ready solution with Intel. In all three partnerships, it's about building telehealth networks for the individual corporations, selling into their existing healthcare customers and potential healthcare customers.
What stage are you at?
I'm sorry?
So what stage are you at currently?
We are at the pre-clinical trial stage. We have signed up 10 pilots, 5 in the US, 5 in India. And we are ready to start the pilot, matter of fact, in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, guys.
We are running the company, I've self-invested in the company, and we have raised about $100,000 in seeds so far.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. I think the next company is Cluster Zap, and I think they're going to present live. So please share your screen. Cluster Zap, you can share your screen.
We have a recording be submitted.
Okay. Genevieve, can we play that?
One moment.
In the interest of time, guys, can you take it live?
Yeah.
Just talk about it.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Nikhil, CEO of Clusters App. Clusters App is a full-featured, flexible, and cost-effective data-first AI-based marketing automation platform for small enterprise customers. So the target audience is small business owners and marketers, as well as small enterprises. So it covers email channels, social, web, in-app push, SMS, landing pages, and more. So this was founded in 2014. We have 12 employees, 21 customers. We have presence in India, US, and Singapore. So the challenges that was there in the market was the need for the unified solution. There were too many disparate automation tools and technical knowledge. Marketers are typically not technically savvy. So Clusters App provides an intuitive solution and can be used even by novice users. You can create landing pages within 10 minutes, and it is pretty cost effective. So it covers almost all the channels. It has a CMS, web automation, AI-driven content generation, marketing automation, campaign management, social media campaigns, CDN-driven digital asset manager, drip emails, SMS push, customer profiling, lead scoring, and nurturing. So the addressable market that we are targeting is small to medium business enterprises. So there are 15 million small to medium business enterprises in US who are spending around $500 to $600 per month on the marketing alone. And less than 2% of them are using marketing automation. So the top marketing automation companies concentrate majorly on the pure enterprise segments. So small marketing automation players don't provide unified solution. So that's where our market lies. So we are targeting around 30,000 customers in the next 5 years. So the current case studies, we have replaced around 4 to 6 existing tools for the companies, improved team collaboration and increased productivity across geographies. Unified dashboard helped analyze customer behavior and devices marketing strategy. Enhanced customer inflow, thus increasing ROI on marketing. Reduction in marketing costs. Realization of non-technical people for marketing asset creation. Reduction spent on multiple tools. So this is the projection that we are projecting for the next 5 years. Thank you.
Panelists. Or we can move to the next company as well. We're running about 16, 17 minutes behind.
Quickly, just talk about your go-to-market strategy.
So we are currently targeting the partner ecosystem. We have partner in Sri Lanka, we have partner in US, and we have a couple of partners in India who we are relying upon. These partners are digital marketing companies who would be catering to the end customers.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Clusters App. Next company is Family Proud, and they will be presenting live. So Family Proud, please take. And if you can stop sharing, please, Clusters App. Stop sharing your screen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Family Proud.
Great, thanks for everyone's time. Good afternoon, my name is Jaden Risner, the CEO and co-founder of Family Proud. Family Proud is a family care management software platform designed to support families and enhance their care during their time of need. Several years ago, I was deployed with the Navy as a helicopter pilot when I was notified that my mother had a heart attack and that concept of remote support sunk in. Sadly, my story is only one of many who navigate the care journey. Medical expenses are the #1 reason families go bankrupt. With over $4 trillion spent in healthcare, over $350 billion are out-of-pocket expenses, crippling families. Introducing Family Proud's solution. We're delivering empathy through technology to not only save money for the family, but also help them navigate their care journey. A private and secure place for the family to communicate with their loved ones, a peer-to-peer aspect that connects families to other families to share their adversities and those lessons learned to empower them through the journey. The care calendar, where our smart technology actually provides recommendations of what to do next, and to the supporters, how to be a strong supporter of how they can help the family. And the care registry, similar to a wedding registry, actually provides product service recommendations based on the hardship, providing a transparent and sustainable support model. Families are using a multitude of different resources out there, certainly Facebook. There's no tangible support. GoFundMe, transactional and victim to compassion fatigue. Family Proud smart technology not only provides a guide through this care journey, but also the right recommendations for the best outcomes. We're focused on the cancer market to start, certainly recognizing the out-of-pocket expenses and the length of care specific for the families. We've demonstrated this value as well. The business model is around primarily licensing on a B2B SaaS to support organizations. The support organizations share this with the families who then activate their support networks and utilize the care registry. So multiple scale-ups, both on the licensing aspect as well as a revenue share through the partnerships of the products and services that exist on the registry. We're actively supporting families across the United States. We successfully ran a pilot with Rady Children's Hospital here in San Diego, validated through the SBIR process through the United States Air Force AFWorks program, also have a pending National Science Foundation grant for our backend technology. Existing partnerships both on the consumer side as well as on the patient support organization side. I'm proud to announce a recent partnership on the Qualcomm Small Business Accelerator. Current projections have us out to 80 million by year 5 through this blended revenue. Certainly recognize crossover capability for senior care as well as end-of-life care specific to the technology that we're providing. We're currently in our initial raise, $750,000. We've raised $350,000, so $400,000 remaining, looking for strategic partnerships, recognizing most likely exit is through acquisition, and we're a proud graduate of Next Cube, the digital health accelerator program. Myself, Naval Academy graduate, Naval Aviator, MBA. Clay Tresca, co-founder, is a 2-time cancer survivor, a fellow MBA, and Ironman. Everyone on our team has a personal touch point, either as a caregiver, as a survivor, or as a supporter, and truly understand our problem set in terms of supporting families through their care journey. We invite you to join our family. Thank you for your support.
Thanks, Jaden. Do you guys have any clinical interaction in your platform, or where does that fit into the workflow?
Yeah, great question. We do have, not currently, we do recognize that as a roadmap. We are talking to Kaiser, United Health, Scripps MD Anderson, recognizing our capability to be a part of the digital health strategy, of course, very relevant right now in terms of those initiatives, but actually recognizing more market penetration independent of being system agnostic currently, but recognizing the opportunities there.
Right. And then who's your end customer? Like what's your business model?
Yep, so the B2B SaaS is support organizations, so California Kids Medical Foundation, Colorectal Cancer Organization, so organizations that have existing community which we can empower through our technology.
Got it, and the value prop to them is that?
Engagement metrics, of course, the aspect in terms of an organic, non-clinical engagement with those families, certainly recognizing the impact of population health at scale, and we're able to identify at-risk individuals and families and provide them support at home and a stronger support network.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And the next company is Dqlabs.
In the last 2 decades, there has been an explosion in technologies. Consumer behaviors have changed. Today, anyone can send any data from any device, any location. Data sources are becoming disparate, and the data size is estimated to grow up to 175 zettabytes. That's almost like 61% in where we are, and this is estimated size for 2025. More data means more data quality issues. Today, there is a lack of consensus in terms of what data quality is between individuals and even within an organization. Still, we are challenged with age-old data management needs and issues, and our approaches has always been more reactive, more rules, ETLs, workflows, functions. All this fails because as the business strategy changes, the underlying data changes. And the shift in data has to be again understood and again managed, which is more of a reactive process. So we are always playing this catch-up game. That's why we said no to all this and went on to create Dqlabs. Dqlabs.ai is a AI/ML data management platform. Uses augmented analytics technologies to learn, understand the data as it's ingested, observes the patterns, trends, behaviors, anomalies, and also understands and learns from the visual interaction from the user to manage all data needs more smarter. All the complex data management Tasks such as data curation, cataloging, quality, cleansing, governance, all is done in one single unified platform, much simpler for any non-technical users to interact. So welcome to the new world of AI/ML-based data management platform, Dqlabs.
Thank you so much. Do you guys have any questions for us?
Yeah, could you maybe walk through a use case? How are your customers using you now?
Yeah, sure. So we do have a customer in the state of Washington. So they have almost like 100 different data sources. So what we are doing real time, we are ingesting all those data sources and profiling and cleansing the data automatically, and then building a master data management and any data models of sort. So traditionally what has been done using lots and lots of $1 million tools and putting lots of resources are now done in matter of days and months, all automated. So that makes a big, tremendous shift in terms of the value that they get immediately.
And are the data scientists still the end users from within those organizations, or are there?
We cover like 4 different groups of users, personas. One is data governance, more from a data stewards and policy and governance aspect of it, how to manage the sensitivity, and then also the permissioning of the whole data and who gets what from a regulation standpoint. The second is more from a data preparation use case. So that goes more into data scientists and anybody who wants to clean the data for preparation of data. And the third one is more the consolidation of data. Most of our banks and institutions are kind of left out with where data is in on-premises, cloud, and kind of like a hybrid place where it is. So anybody who's interested in data lake or ingestion or consolidation of data is another use case what we are doing it. All in all, the focus is where the platform manages the data versus we manage a system that manages the data, which is what we feel is a very reactive process.
And of the customers that you have today, are there, have you seen that one of those value props resonates more than the others?
Yeah, so everyone, when they see the actual demo and the value, they immediately resonates well. And we are starting from a go-to-market strategy, starting with BFSI vertical, but the use case is pretty much everywhere, anywhere. So we see anywhere who has a large amount of data set, and the value is well recognized early on because there is a big shift. The smaller companies with smaller data, not so much because the value is not much.
What are you raising?
So right now we are raising 1 million as a bridge before pre-series, and to Series A we are raising 7 million. And today our pricing model is $240K per annum, $20K per month, 1-year license terms.
Thank you, guys. Raj, please add your information, contact information as well. Next company is Tenant Cube. They will be presenting live. Please share your screen, Tenant Cube.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for this opportunity. My name is Andrew Moses. I'm the founder and CEO at Tenant Cube. We are in the property management space. So let me start off with the property management. Before I got into it, I thought 80% of it is public relations, 20% is the boarding admin work. Little did I know when I got into it that actually the 20% takes 80% of my time. Then I just kind of set out to do some market research to figure out, is it just me or is it a real problem across? And then I kind of talked to a lot of landlords and figured out that outdated technology, bad tenants taking a lot of energy from landlords, and there's no real communication platform connecting. So we understood there is a problem. And then we said, why today? Right? I mean, the demographics are changing. People, I mean, we are used to, all the tenants today are used to the Uber and the Airbnb experience. They did not want to look at a point solution. So we set out to build a complete rental experience platform for both landlords and tenants. So from listing to onboarding and to property maintenance, everything can be done right inside our application. And it's, again, simple, mobile first, AI based as well. completely on the application itself. Now, in order to build this, obviously, we needed to put together a good team. And I come from early stages of Freshworks. I'm one of the first few go-to-market. I was number 7 there. I've run my consulting company, and I put together a team of people who have built multiple SaaS companies in the past. My co-founder, and then if you look at all the different facets, we have that covered. Now, in order to look at it, we looked at the market. I'm just going to kind of show you different aspects in the market, like different segments. We target the smaller landlords in the property management, in the lower, small, mid-sized businesses, and the kind of the long tail of this SMB business. There are big property management companies built in the year that I was born. Again, they're great in accounting, but everything else on the experience side is where our advantage is. Now, in order to do that, our model is a simple integratable solution. We can work with any accounting systems, listing websites. We integrate and provide that a service on top of whatever is available and whatever they're used to. Now, in order to do that, we obviously did a lot of market research, and we have sold to some of the customers. I mean, I wouldn't say sold. They're all beta customers right now. We have customers across the segment. We're testing it out, piloting with closed beta, testing out and kind of getting some feedback at this point. We would be about 25,000 to 30,000 units in about 4 to 5 months time when we go live. And we have Sequoia as a scout investment. One of our customers invested, and we raised a small round in Niagara Angel Network as I'm part of a Canadian entrepreneur ecosystem as well. And finally, we've first part of Axel's first cohort founder stack in India, and then TiE Toronto, we are one of the finalists in TiE. And I'll just stop here and answer any questions you may have. Thanks for the opportunity.
Panelists.
I feel like I'm asking too many questions, but I guess how much are you raising now, and what are you going to use the funds for?
All right, so currently we're just raising 250K. We've already raised some sum with our investors. So this fund will be invested to get to our product market fit. And we have a team we have already hired the full team. So it's all about getting marketing, take it to market and scale this existing beta. We want to kind of get to that first 100 customers and get that product market fit. And that's where we will use the funding for.
Andrew, where are you launched? Which markets are you targeting right now?
Right, we are targeting the North American market as a first step. Most of our beta customers are from Canada, and some of them are in the US as well. So that's our first initial target. I'm based here, but our dev center, my co-founder moved to India, Chennai to set up an office, and that's where we have our dev talent that's building the product, and our go-to-market is based out of Canada.
Where is here?
Canada, sorry, in Niagara Falls. It's the outskirts. Now, the world is remote, so we didn't have to be in Toronto paying expensive office space, so we decided to stay here and build a company from here.
Okay.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Quarry. They have just sent the video, and for some reason, they're not available for Q&A. So after that, we'll move to the next company. Genevieve, please play the video.
Hi, nice to meet you virtually. Quarry is honored to be a recipient of this year's TiE50 Awards. No company can exist without its employees. Employees represent the most significant cost to a company and their most valuable resource. It is worth understanding the value of total compensation because people want to know. When we look at the compensation packages of company executives, analysts will look at the value being the total of salaries, bonuses, and equity. And equity can make up most of this. But how do companies get to total compensation? This is the fundamental problem. Total compensation is both payroll plus equity. From a compensation perspective, tools exist for payroll, but not for equity. Getting to total compensation remains to be a painstakingly manual task pulled together by a company's HR and accounting teams or pricey consultants. It is almost impossible to believe that this very important data set is not immediately available. How do companies make timely decisions on issuing compensation packages that are competitive, appropriate, and address the very real issues of our time, such as women and diversity. Corey understands these issues and how to solve for it. This problem can only be solved through an automation of the underlying HR and accounting processes that make up equity-based compensation. Corey then takes this equity data from our platform, along with third-party payroll data, to form total compensation in easy-to-understand visual metrics and powerful analytics. In fact, our platform is so powerful that it provides real-time GAAP-authenticated equity data, which enables faster closing of month ends, financial statements, SEC reporting, and importantly, GAAP validation of share data for making trades under emerging private markets. Given the continued explosive growth of equity compensation, it is so important for companies to understand total compensation. And an automation of the underlying HR and accounting tools for equity is key to figuring this out. Thank you. Hi.
Genevieve, you can go to the next one because they don't have Q&A. Sami Ops.
Hello, my name is Asad Goel. I'm the founder of Sami Ops, a smart fleet management platform for mixed fleets. For those businesses that rely on equipment, assets, or vehicles of any kind to produce revenue, there's one big problem. Broken equipment kills dreams. When a piece of equipment breaks down, not only are there costs associated with repair and maintenance, but it also creates unhappy customers because they know that they can no longer rely on you for future needs. And the challenges of fleet are not because companies don't know how to manage or maintain it, but because they've been following the same manual workflows over the last 50 years with limited technology. In the US alone, there are over 800,000 businesses that have 40 million pieces of equipment that they depend on every single day. So while the market for fleet management software is very big, current offerings suck. 70% of all fleet is still run on paper and Excel, and the other 30% of fleet that uses some sort of technology is largely using GPS and telematics trackers for point-in-time data. As a result, they have multiple systems that don't talk to each other. There are challenges with proprietary hardware, and frankly, the focus is all on data and machines, not on processes and people. There has to be a better way. This is where Sami Ops comes in. We're an app-based fleet platform for end-to-end workflow management for fleets of all sizes. As unlike a competition, we do not require any hardware to get started. We are a cloud-based platform and offer integration of data to various sources, and we make use of ML and AI-based algorithm to provide intelligence from the data. Importantly, we are focused on the full spectrum of fleet management, everything from document management to daily operations to maintenance and repairs, alerts, reporting, reminders, compliance, et cetera, et cetera. Just a brief note about our journey. We launched at the beginning of 2020. We successfully signed up a couple of SMB enterprises as customers, had a few more proposals out there before COVID-19 hit. However, we used the downtime to make some enhancements to our feature set and successfully recruited a VP of sales, expanding our team. We also applied to and were successful in making it into the Mass Challenge Accelerator. We are part of the Boston 2020 cohort and also are currently in talks with 2 large enterprises about the product development. Why will we succeed? Because of the team that I have here. I myself have over 10 years of domain experience, and my CTO is highly experienced with multiple exits. My VP of sales brings a plethora of rich business relationships, and I have a solid offshore development team. But very importantly, we are advised by advisors from the business who know what it takes to build a business and succeed. And with this, I'm open for questions. Thank you.
As we are thinking through questions for the panelists and for the VC panel, I would also suggest that they start thinking about the top 3 from their point of view. If they want to share that live, or they can share in the chat, or they can also send it to us later, and we will communicate that to them.
Okay.
So I guess my questions are really around kind of who your target market is first, and how are they currently managing this type of thing?
Sure. So the target market, currently we're looking at the middle market, medium-sized business enterprises. These are companies with anywhere between about 50 to a few thousand assets, assorted assets. And right now they're essentially running things on Excel or a multitude of disparate systems. So they'll have one system for managing their service tickets, another system for managing their GPS tracking information. And they're still doing things manually. So they have multiple systems, but they're not getting any ROI in terms of being able to drive automation from there. And that becomes a pain point where one information resides in one system and the other in the other system. So we are finding that they resonate towards the value of no hardware required, mobile app to communicate and actually see the data and be able to communicate results.
What's a go-to-market strategy to reach them?
So right now we are taking two approach. One is strategic reseller partnership. So we have a partnership that we struck up with Mobile Mini, a NASDAQ listed company that has a significant customer overlap. And we are also doing direct sales through my own network, as well as my VP of sales that I've brought on board to reach out to customer contacts that we have in the industry and open conversations. That's how secure the large enterprises.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, SemiOps, for the investor panel. Next one is the last company for this panel. And after that, we will have the slightly later stage companies. So also think about, your top three. And next company is Shroken, and they're going to present live. Please share your screen.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, please start.
Can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
We can't hear the video. It sounds like there's like really faintly the audio from the video is playing, but we can't hear that.
Is it better now?
Please share your computer audio.
Oh, you are playing from your local computer. No, it's not going to work this way. When you share the screen at the time, there's an option to share the computer audio.
Oh, okay.
So you have to click that. That's on the bottom left. That's a radio box. So stop sharing your screen. You have to come reshare the screen. And at the time in the Zoom, on the bottom left corner, you have to check something.
Okay.
Which says, share computer audio.
Okay, share computer audio, got it. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Yogendra Chordia. I'm a co-founder of Shroken. Shroken's Mo Symphony is designed ground up to digitize pharma contract manufacturing supply chain. Pharma contract manufacturing supply chain is... Hi, good afternoon. My name is Yogendra Chordia. I'm a co-founder of Shroken. Shroken's Mo Symphony is designed ground up to digitize pharma contract manufacturing supply chain. Pharma contract manufacturing supply chain is very inefficient, as collaboration between the brand owner and contract manufacturing organization is extremely manual, resulting in loss of sales, inventory write-offs, and scalability challenges, thus ensuring daily firefighting and stress on dedicated teams on both sides of businesses. Pharma contract manufacturing is growing year over year. Manual processes worsens the loss of business growth and does not see an end to the rising cost of managing outsourcing. Mo Symphony is powered by enterprise blockchain, enabling pharma brand owners to cost effectively scale contract manufacturing with rigorous compliance, real-time visibility, and process control. Real-time visibility is achieved through blockchain data synchronization. No manual entry, as MoSymphony is pre-integrated with ERPs. Interactive dashboard allows well-informed and faster decision-making. Blockchain ensures data security and data privacy. Seamless collaboration and easy communication through built-in, innovative, immutable chat feature. MoSymphony shines in the competitive landscape as it singularly focuses on the pharmaceutical vertical. We are fortunate to have great partnerships with Accenture, Microsoft, R3, and SAP to drive business growth. It is a $1.5 billion business opportunity. 3 customers are already in production. Solid roadmap to grow business to $100 million by 2025. Pharma brand pays $33,000 subscription per CMO per year. Next 2 years, we will be focusing on the US market to grow business. We will be EBITDA positive by 2023. Continuous revenue growth by network effect as CMOs are shared across brand owners and need to only onboard once on platform, therefore allowing multiplicity of relationships and also helps drive improved unit economics year over year. Looking to raise $2.5 million to establish US sales team and enhance product offering, resulting in $1.5 million ARR by 2021. Sanjay and I have extensive supply chain experience and have worked in multiple Fortune 100 companies. Strong advisory board with extensive enterprise sales and operating experience, augmented by solid life sciences expertise. Thank you. These are contact information.
Thanks, Shrokan. I just want to take a minute to thank all the presenting companies and wish them luck as well. This is a journey. Please share your information. Also feel free to contact any of us. As you know, TiE50 is a volunteer-run organization. The whole TiE itself is volunteer-run organization. So we really appreciate everyone participating, especially the investor panel as well. You know, Ethan, Neeraj, Purnima, Sandeep, I really appreciate your time. And if you want to share any comments or you have your kind of 3 picks, don't have to be in a particular order. You can just suggest to the company that you like.
Okay, so do you want the 3 picks right now for each of us, from each of us?
I think that's the basic idea, but if you guys want to consult each other and then just present one list, that's also fine. I think that's probably better.
I think that's better. Yeah, just give us a couple of minutes if we can. I don't know how we can chat with each other, but if we could.
So I think in the invite, if you see, you will see each other's email addresses.
Okay.
I'll forward an email to all of you and we'll take care of that.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah. And either Genevieve or someone can actually, send you an email to all 4 of you, and then you can.
Call each other. I think we have phone number. I think that might be faster.
Okay.
Call each other and talk to each other and sort it out.
Okay. Okay. We'll do that. Okay. Genevieve, if you can maybe put the intro slide for the next panel. Genevieve or Kalpi, either of you.
I'm not able to share my screen. Let me just.
Okay. There you go. So maybe the first slide, or maybe the 4th slide, I guess. Go to the 4th slide in this order so that I can introduce the panel. So I think this is the second set of companies, maybe 15 or 16 of them. And they're kind of slightly later stage. And we are delighted to have Raghu Raghwan with us, who's an experienced entrepreneur He started a company called Acton. He was the founder. He was a co-founder of a company called Responses, which was bought by Oracle some time back for, I think, 1.5 billion or something like that, large number. And currently he is a general partner at Elevate.vc, which is about a $50 million early stage fund. And they specifically focus and encourage diversity. Second on the panel, we have Amsi Sistela. We have done some deals together. He's an operational expert in running and building AI, ML, NLP kind of systems. He has co-founded a couple of companies, as well as he's a very active angel and associated with 3-4 different funds, ENIAC Ventures, Laconia Capital, and @1 Ventures as well. Welcome, guys. Are you, just say hello maybe? Raghu and Vamsi.
Hello, everybody. Looking forward to getting these very interesting pitches. I'll be asking questions as we go along, but I think that we'll try to stay on schedule here for you. So I'll pass it off to Vamsi.
Vamsi, you're with us? Okay, we'll come back to. So maybe we'll start with the first company. And Kalpi, are you able to share the Twixer? Okay.
Not able to hear.
Is this a live session? Twixer is doing live, or is from the computer?
This is not a live, it's a recording.
Okay, Kalpi, reshare your screen. And when you share your screen in Zoom, on the bottom left, it will ask you to share computer sound. Click that box, please. Kalpi is just a volunteer with us, guys, just like everyone else is a volunteer. So please bear with it.
Thank you, everyone, for choosing Twixer as a TiE50 winner in 2020. As you know, the world is becoming increasingly digital. It's changing, and it has already changed. COVID has accelerated the process, with the future looking increasingly touchless, appless, and remote. Channels are now the new browser, where enterprises are using WhatsApp, PWAs, and bots, and even NLP unstructured chats to have conversations with their customers. Using digital process automation, or DPA, you can actually turn these conversations into transactions by providing the ability to exchange data with legacy backend systems. In a recent survey conducted in the US and Europe, where consumers were asked the preference of how enterprises should reach out to them, over 90% selected channels as a medium of interaction. In the past 10 or 20 years, trillions of dollars have been spent by enterprises in technology infrastructure. And all of that infrastructure has to evolve now to address this new opportunity of interacting with consumers over channels. You can now, as an enterprise, go to where the consumer is instead of asking her to come to where you are, which is your app, your website, or your office. Machines can now do what people earlier used to do, which is exchange data between one system to another, or essentially manage business processes. Twixer has been at the forefront of DPA, or digital process automation, since 2014. We have built 2 components of our platform, which is protected by several patents. The first one is an omnichannel chat engine, which allows enterprises to interact with consumers, have conversations with them over different media, chat channels like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and so on. The other one is a powerful drag and drop workflow editor-based digital process automation platform, which allows enterprises to digitize business processes and essentially convert these conversations into transactions by providing straight-through processing and integration with legacy backend systems using APIs. Today, we serve over 30 clients, 7 of whom are Fortune 500 customers, and based in the US, in Dubai, or the Middle East, and in India. We enable transactions such as booking movie tickets over WhatsApp, making flight reservations, checking for baggage allowance, enabling a patient to check out of a hospital within minutes instead of hours that it used to take earlier, opening a savings bank account in 5 minutes, or getting a loan approval in minutes or days instead of the weeks that it used to take earlier. The opportunities are limitless and the use cases don't end. And we are growing exponentially to address these use cases and this opportunity. Thank you once again for the award, and we look forward to meeting you as you embark on your digital transformation journey.
Thank you, Twixer. Vamsi, are you with us? You're one of the missing panelists. Raghu, please drive it a little bit. Let me see if we can get Vamsi in the room.
Okay. Okay, guys, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. So could you start? Can we?
Yeah, you can, Raghu. If you have a question, you can ask, or we will move to the next company.
Okay. So my question is, are you guys, I mean, what caused you to do this? I mean, there's so many companies doing these kinds of things, this digital process automation bits and pieces. So what was the impetus for starting this?
Absolutely. Today the channels are the new browser. So today you can interact on any channel of your choice, and we are enabling commerce and transactions on channels. There are a lot of process automation companies. They don't surface those process interactions on the channels. Today I can do open a bank account on or book my airline ticket on Messenger, or my movie ticket or whatnot. So this surface the digital processes on the channels is the digital process automation. Otherwise, it's business process automation. It's BPM. The new space is DPA, digital process automation, which is next to RPA. This is a pretty hot evolving field, and we've been at it for 4 years now with 6 patents, and top 5 banks in India are our customers. Procter Gamble, there are a lot of Fortune 500 companies are our customers. Today, everything which has evolved over past 20 years have to be now surfaced on touchless channels, and that is the space we play into.
And who else is in this space? Who do you compete with in these?
DPA as a term has just evolved. We've been at it for 4 years now, and we don't see a competition. We marry the entire cycle of consumer interaction through NLP, through the channel, to a fulfillment of that communication. To us, we are I've not seen a company who's giving a full stack solution. You can always take a BPM platform and link it up with a channel platform and give a solution. End to end, we have not seen anybody do that.
So then when you go in, what is your pitch and how do you price this?
Yeah, we price it based on the number of interactions people will have, and based on the number of processes and live agents and process agents people will deploy. So that is the we price it. We are launching our SaaS platform. We are with banks. We are on-prem for obvious reasons. With healthcare providers, we are on-prem for obvious reasons, because data cannot be on the cloud. But for companies like Procter Gamble and or probably like IFCO Tokyo or Panasonic or Kohler, we are on the cloud.
Okay. And every implementation is custom to whatever that company's needs are. So what is the typical price of one of these deals?
Okay, one of our banks are touching $1 million in annual revenue for us.
Okay. And what did it take for you to implement that?
So this is an ongoing recurring revenue, because they run our platform and there is a regular maintenance cost, and they have to digitize everything. Banks typically have around 800 to 1,000 applications. Everything has to be digitized, and this is like an ongoing 3-year, 5-year kind of an engagement, which includes licenses as well as services.
Okay. My question was, what did it take for you to get this customer? How long did it take? Did it take you a month or 6 months, or what was the?
We secured this customer in 3 months' time. That was probably last year, but the account has matured to $1 million run rate as of now.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Twixer. I think
you.
we'll move to the next company. Kalpi, if you can play Arctic or Eritic.
Thank you, TiE, for selecting us for TiE50. This is Sri Rao Badapu from Austin, Texas. I'm the founder and CEO of Arctic. Arctic is a next generation hiring platform. It's an intelligent match machine that measures psychometrics and personalities to assess the skill, job, and team fit to align with the company's culture. Having a 23 years of experience, our customers, myself, experiences so much gap in the hiring process and huge problems gap, 62 to 90 days hiring cycle, where we have a job aggregator, application tracking, and finally, if we fail any of the background and reference verification, redoing everything. Number two is a 30% attrition, where culture and personality is the biggest thing. 49% of the candidates turned down an offer due to the bad recruiting experience. Finally, everybody said that excessive operational cost, where bad hire cost 15K and losing a good hire cost at 30K. That's where Arctic, we started innovation and patented the technology, started building to address all the problems and also to achieve all these things. Number one thing is, how do we hire the people in 72 hours? And where we built a candidate relationship management for the transparency within no time. Number three is an application tracking system with a skill fit, job fit, and personality, and a team fit. So what is the Arctic basic biggest advantage along with all the features, whatever I explained? Number one thing is a job outreach platform using a social referral incentive platform. We are continuously building the patents and improving the worldwide patents, and the addressable market in the globally 450 billion. What is the go-to-market strategy? Right now, we need a help on the branding and expanding. We are currently working with some of the customers, existing relationships, and also Texas Workforce Commission, where due to COVID, there is a lot of unemployment claims. How do we reduce unemployment claims? And we need a lot of help on the expansion. That's where we need a help on this. And this is the biggest advantage. We have a team with psychometric experts, AI, and HR, and blockchain experts on the cybersecurity space. We did at South by Southwest, engaged Boston, and we got in the top 5 and top 3 in score. And we built an excellent modern technology. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, TiE, for selecting us for.
Okay. Thank you. Looks like we are going to miss Vamsi. Vamsi, are you here? There is a.
So somebody has feedback.
Yeah, maybe Sri Rao. Okay.
So I had a couple of questions. Sri Rao, I think you're right.
Yes. And my voice is echoing. I'm not sure.
Do you have a phone or something? Do you have two browsers open or something? Or a phone?
First mute, Sri Rao, first mute yourself. Okay. I think you have two devices somehow.
Or two browsers.
Okay.
I cannot share the screen right now.
No, mute it. Okay. Raghu will come back, try to remember the questions, and then, we'll try to do that way. And maybe Kalpi or Ajay or someone in the control room can help him in the background troubleshoot, please. Kalpi, if you could play the next company, Nephrodite.
Hello, TiEcon 2020. We are Nephrodite, a collective group of scientists, engineers, and clinicians dedicated to improving the lives of patients with end-stage renal disease. Our decision to innovate in the dialysis space was not difficult. Not only is it an area where two of the founders have considerable medical expertise, but one that has had a paucity of innovation since the inception of dialysis in 1943. Over 800,000 patients in the U.S. and nearly 3 million patients worldwide suffer from this disease, and the cost to the U.S. healthcare system is enormous. Nearly $34 billion to Medicare, which accounts for 7% of the Medicare budget to treat less than 1% of the covered population. Our patients with end-stage renal disease and on dialysis are suffering. Dialysis is laborious, invasive, draining, and painful. It wreaks havoc on the personal lives of patients and places unreasonable demands on loved ones for care and transportation. Complication rates are high, with only being dialyzed 3 times per week. Patients experience peaks and troughs that assault their cardiovascular system, resulting in dialysis graft failures, infections, heart attacks, stroke, and death. We have developed a surgically implanted device that uses an arterial conduit to allow for continuous filtration, essentially working as a kidney replacement mechanism. This device is connected to an external reservoir that holds dialysate, allowing for effective fluid exchange as well as filtration. By addressing both filtration and fluid exchange, the device is able to maintain a patient's internal hemodynamics, thereby reducing complications and maintaining quality of life. With a total addressable market of $40 billion for end-stage renal disease, we believe the target opportunity is roughly $700,000 to $800,000 for a 5% penetration and over $1 billion for a 10% penetration of just the hemodialysis patient segment. These revenues would be generated through the sale of the Holly device, along with recurring revenues through sale of components, support services, and supplies. Early prototype and testing was completed in Q4 2018 into the beginning of 2019. The company secures no debt, and it owns all of its IP, consisting of 3 patent families, both in the US and in Europe. The company is currently seeking funding for a seed round to complete development of a full working testing prototype and to engage in early animal testing. The founders have startup experience, deep clinical and science background. We have a team of advisors that guide us in IP, including prosecution and regulatory matters. The medical advisors are global experts in transplant surgery, vascular access, kidney disease, and dialysis. In summary, there's a critical need to improve renal replacement therapies. The company is well set up to accomplish this with their novel device. Thank you.
I think we have someone from Nephrodity.
Yes.
Gaiti.
Nikhil Shah.
Okay. Hi, Nikhil. Raghu. Just me and you.
Yeah, just me. Okay.
And I'm juggling few things, but I will participate.
No worries.
Yeah.
No, a few questions for you. So what is the roadmap here for the rollout? Does it? I mean, what does the next 1 year look like for you guys?
The next 1 year is funding the seed round. That seed round is about $650,000 that would accomplish early animal testing, as well as some additional benchtop work. But the animal testing would be critical. We would then hit a Series A round to build the commercial ready device, engage the FDA during that Series A round, and as well do first-in-man studies. That would begin our regulatory path.
And what are the terms of this round that you're raising? Is it going to be like a, do you have a value?
Correct. We're open to options of a convertible note versus a bridge. Equity is possible as well. We're open to terms.
And then what is the, and how long before you go past, I mean, do you need Series A before you can start, like, I mean, what are the phases of trials you have to go through before this thing goes live? How far, I mean, how long is that process?
Sure. So we believe the total process to commercialization is about 10 years. We think we'll get about 4 years to a clinically ready device that we could do first in human. We absolutely believe that a partner with a strategic, an industry partner, strategic would be the way to go during that A round.
And do you guys have some sense of the total amount of capital you will need to consume, just even looking beyond the A round, or are you just?
Yes. So for the regulatory round, which would start our B round, it's going to be our best guess right now for a class 3 PMA with breakthrough device classification is about 20 million.
Okay. And are there strategics that you're already targeting or talking to, or that seem like good prospects for you?
Yes, Raghavan. I unfortunately, I shouldn't throw any names out at this point, but we've talked to 5 specific strategics at this point, yes.
Okay. And this market, pardon me, because I don't come from the space, so I'm asking some pretty dumb Columbo type questions. Why is it that there's not been innovation in this space for this long? I mean, with hemodialysis, why is it that it's just sat in a static condition?
Yeah, so real quick, in 1943, dialysis was sort of conceived and brought to the market. There have been 2 main companies that have sort of, I would say, oligopolized this space with their model. And their model is really outpatient dialysis. And changing that has really not been towards anyone's advantage. Furthermore, employing certain physicians as medical directors for those centers has also been a very lucrative space. So there's just been a lack of interest in innovating up until now.
Thank you, guys. I think this is good. Amsi, are you with us now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Great to have you.
Sorry for that.
And is Aratic fixed, the echo issue? Raghu, so, you had a question or 2 for Aratic?
Raghu, sorry for the inconvenience. My apologies.
No, not at all. So does the Aratic platform fit into things like SAP SuccessFactors or Workday or all these kinds of things? I mean, how does a customer engage with it right now?
So
directly?
We have a SaaS model. We have a customizable enterprise model. So what we are doing is we have like a job board model with an integrated application tracking system as well as a candidate relationship management. So where it's assess the psychometrics to align with the company's culture. So it takes the psychometrics of the individual and comes with the culture, and it matches the culture. And what my experience in my overall is like the personalities and the job, there is a huge gap. So that is the problem I'm fixing here.
Yeah, my question really was that when you enter this market and somebody already has whatever they have, is that an impediment for you or is that an opportunity for you when you see?
It's an extension. They don't need to replace. It's an extension of whatever they have.
Okay, and you don't feel like these other guys are going to compete with you or trample on you or whatever. What is defensible about what you're doing?
So what we have is, I mean, in the marketplace, there is no company which is measuring based upon the psychometrics. They are measuring, but most of them are all biased. And we have the bias-free algorithms. We patented the technology.
Okay.
And we have been in the business from the last 23 years, and I have a revenue of $4 million in this one. And we are just separating this one. We have existing customer. We pitch with the DOD, Department of Defense, of Workforce Commission right now.
So you're spinning this out of the business that you already had?
Absolutely. And we have a revenue from the product business close to 50 to 60 grand. And we are separating it as we already got the patentship, getting into almost approval process. That's why.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Aratic. And Kalpi, if you can play the next company, Yayin.
Hi, my name is Ian Rogers, and I'm the founder of Yayin.com. Yayin seeks to positively disrupt the 3-tier system. How do we do that? Well, we integrate with vineyards, boutique vineyards throughout the United States. We take their inventory, their point of sale system, and we bring it onto the Yayin platform. That allows our vineyards to sell directly to the consumer by cutting out the middleman. We then empower our users to try those new wines, as we have partnered with a sensory science company called Tastery that uses an AI-powered system to identify your specific unique flavor preferences and give you recommendations on wines we know you'll love. How do we disrupt the 3-tier system? It's really critical in understanding how we at Yayin seek to change how you discover, interact, and ultimately purchase wine. For those of you who don't know, the 3-tier system is where you have a vineyard that produces the wine, who sells it to a wholesaler or a distributor, who then turns around and sells that wine off to retailers, Costco, Whole Foods, BevMo, and more. The problem with that system is if you're a small to mid-sized boutique vineyard, your ability to sell into that system is quite difficult. Margins are razor thin, competition is incredibly high, and you probably don't make enough volume to satisfy their needs. So from you, the consumer's perspective, there are hundreds of phenomenal vineyards out there you're just not going to gain access to or exposure to. Yayin positively disrupts that by bringing you those vineyards directly, where you are purchasing right from the craftsmen and women who make this amazing wine. Using our AI technology, we then pair you with the vineyards that you're going to enjoy the most. From all of us here at Yayin, the future looks incredibly bright. The feedback that we've got from vineyards has been incredible, and we're onboarding them at an incredibly rapid rate. Users are thrilled with our service, and I look forward to having you on Yayin in the future.
Yayin, are you online?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Okay. So this is kind of a unlocking the hidden value in your closet, right? Or in your wine cellar.
So who approached you to do this, and how did this all come to be?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So I'll give you the short version. I'm out to dinner with my wife about a year and a half ago. The waiter at the restaurant hands me this massive wine list, and I quickly discover that while I think I know a lot about wine, I'm looking at this list realizing, man, I don't know 90%, 80% of this entire list. How do I possibly choose a wine? And why is it that I never see these wines at any of the places I actually purchase at? So BevMo, Costco, etc. And that led me to figure out a better way to sell wine, and two, to disrupt the three-tier system. And they're really one and the same. They're just two different pieces of that value coin.
And so you said, so the pricing is done by your algorithm, or how does the market come to be?
Certainly. So Yayin makes 14% on every successful transaction. Our average cart size right now is about $257. So we make 14% of that. That 14%, 12% is paid by the seller, in this case, the vineyard, and 2% is paid by the user.
And what about the brand? Is that the vineyard's brand, or where does the brand come in all of this? Is this a Yayin brand, or what does the consumer think he's buying?
Good question. So Yayin is simply the platform that brings together fantastic craftsmen and women who make wine from all throughout the United States.
So these are the small vineyards that have their little bottling operations and their little wine cellars and what have you.
You know, what's interesting is in the beginning, we thought you were right. We would have gone with that assumption, which would have been smaller boutique vineyards, kind of in the small and mid-sized category. But actually that hasn't been necessarily true. We actually just onboarded Freemark Abbey. Freemark Abbey is a massive winemaker that you can find everywhere in the United States. So they view us as an additional distribution channel.
Okay. How many people on the platform, and what value you add in terms of, the problem that you were saying initially you had at the restaurant, right? Looking at the large list. So what value, how do I choose faster? And first, how many people you have, and what's your revenue at this time, MRR?
Certainly. So in the month of, in the month of July, we did about 35,000. In the month of August, we did just shy of 70,000 in revenue. So that's been our run here so far. Our current user base is just a tick over 100,000 people. And then the value we unlock, and we're adding at a very, very healthy clip. So we have to add basically in two buckets, vineyards being one, it's a two-sided platform, right? And users being in the other. I will say that because of COVID, our customer acquisition cost on the merchant side, the vineyard side, has been reduced to zero. Right? Because when you're a vineyard, there's three ways of distribution. There's on-premise at the vineyard, restaurants.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. That makes sense. I just want to clarify the revenue that you mentioned, that's not GMV, that's your cut, right?
The 14% is our cut, correct?
No, I know your cut is 14%.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's our cut. I apologize. Yes. Okay, it would be disingenuous to say we did the gross revenue number. I was referring to.
True. Just wanted to clarify. Okay.
Nope, I appreciate that.
Vamsi.
Are you guys doing your own fulfillment by the merchant, or are you guys fulfilling yourself?
So the merchant is fulfilling.
Okay.
It's just a distribution channel. I think that's as simple as that. I think it's the cleanest business in the sense, right? Yeah.
Correct. And so the question is, how do we add enough value to get enough users? And that's where our bespoke recommendation platform comes into play. That is very unique in the space. No one else is doing that.
And on the platform, how do you help me choose a better wine and, basically solve the problem that you had in the restaurant, right? So just maybe 15 seconds, talk about that very quickly.
Very simple. We ask our customers a handful of non-wine related questions. We then take that data that breaks you into one of 150,000 different palate preferences. We then use a lab out of Paso Robles, California, that does a chemical analysis of each and every bottle. We then take the matrix of what the wine actually tastes like versus what you like, overlay the two of them, and provide a recommendation to you.
Okay, that sounds good. So if I'm going for a fancy dinner and I know the menu, I can use it to maybe match the wine if it's bring your own.
That's correct. Okay. That's correct. And if you like an expensive bottle, we can actually recommend to you a wine that tastes as good or better that might be a lot less expensive. And so that's where a lot of customers are finding value.
Okay. Sounds very good.
So why would I come to you? I'm still a little unclear as to why I wouldn't go to wine.com and start poking around there. I realize that you do have, more criteria for picking the actual wine that I might get, but that would be the default choice. And so you have to jump over a hurdle to get customers to want to do this. So how would I as a consumer discover you and start using your service? I mean, who tells me about Yayan?
That's a great question. So let's pretend I have a cost of customer acquisition and I can, using a little bit of brute force, acquire a handful of customers. And now I have optimized, Raghu, a bottle of wine for you.
Yeah.
You've gone through the taste. Great. You've got a recommendation. That doesn't help you very much because most of the time you go out to dinner or have a bottle of wine with more than just yourself, right? Wine is a very social thing. So we've built in the software that allows you to become friends and optimize the bottle for the flavor profile of the two of you. And so that creates a network effect where you become the marketer, as it were.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you, Yayan.
Can you talk a little bit about do we have any more time?
Vamsi,
do we have any more time?
But you can ask one,
We're out of
time. That's okay. No
That's
issues.
okay. We can come back.
Okay. Please
can you talk a little bit about your AI mapping?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, the AI mapping? Yes. So the breakdown gives us 12 unique points on the wine that we identify as flavor preferences or flavor markers. The basics being salt, sweet, sour, bitter, right? It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's effectively what it is. And then based on specific questions that we ask you that also have imagery associated with it, we can identify what your palate preferences are. And then it's really a simple algorithm of being able to overlay those two and then stack rank them based on what you're going to like. The output is 94% of our customers say that after they've been recommended and tasted that bottle, that they would purchase that bottle again.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Yayin.
Thank you for the time, everyone. Thank you.
Sure. Kalpi, if you can play the next company, please. I think Etonarp.
Hi, good morning. This is Prakash Murthy. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of Atonarp. So Atonarp is a molecular diagnostics company, and we enable digital biology. So Atonarp is headquartered in Tokyo, Japan. We have an office in San Francisco, California, as well as in India. So the molecular profiling by Atonarp is the future of healthcare. Our mission is to provide healthcare for all the 7.8 billion people. So we have developed a key technology through which non-invasively you can access the biological information from the body. So our vision is we want to connect every human being to the cloud. As a result, we enable preventive healthcare. So if you look at the healthcare today, we spend about $14.2 trillion, out of which about $100 billion is spent on diagnostics. And still, the treatment is reactive, people get sick, and then we look for treatment. So with Atonarp, we complement the existing healthcare system, as well as you can monitor your body 24/7 in real time, at anywhere, at any place, at a very lower cost. So we enable digital diagnostics using zero chemistry and real-time analysis. So this is our platform. ADAM 360 is a molecular profiling platform. This is the only end-to-end digital diagnostics platform where you can diagnose as well as manage the diseases. So it consists of a unique hardware that we have developed, which uses the molecular profiling technology, and then on the software, so we collect the biological data from carbohydrates, from proteins, and various biomarkers, which allows you to profile various diseases. So our roadmap is the molecular profiling is the future of everything. So initially our first application is non-communicable diseases. And in parallel, we are working on cell therapeutics, cell engineering, and in the future, we plan to enable precision medicine as well as infectious diseases monitoring. So we are building a diverse portfolio of products. The first phase is to enable in vitro diagnostics, and the second phase is to do non-invasive digital diagnostics. So with this, thank you for listening to us. And I would like to take this opportunity and thank TiECon, as well as all the winners of this event, and also all of you, all participants. Thank you very much.
Do we have the presenter online? He might be in Japan, so maybe time difference issues. Okay, going once, twice, thrice, okay. So we move to the next company, Arise AI. Kalpi?
Hi, this is Arise. My name is Aparna, and I'm Chief Product Officer and founder of Arise. My background is from Uber's machine learning team, where I built out Michelangelo and put thousands of models into production. My co-founder, Jason, previously founded TubeMogul, which he took public and ultimately was acquired by Adobe. Today, data science is what software was 20 years ago. Every company is massively investing in machine learning and AI. Companies like Ford already have over 800 plus data scientists. L'Oreal has over 200. JP Morgan has thousands. The ML infrastructure market is projected to be $50 billion by 2025. Over the last 5 years, we've seen the focus on infra really focus on the first two parts of the modeling workflow, which is data preparation and model building. But the real impacts of machine learning on a business come once the model's actually integrated in a production environment and start impacting the business. And sometimes the impact might not always be positive. We've seen bad predictions cost companies millions of dollars, and bias and fairness issues such as the Apple Card debacle really show how little observability we have on models. And as these models get more and more complex, such as GPT-3, who's really watching AI? This is where Arise comes in. Every day we talk to data scientists on the ground who are having trouble even answering the most basic observability questions. First, will my model even work as it's moving from this research environment to a production environment? How do I know that it's going to translate? Second, is my model working? I've launched it into production. Now what? Is it working? Is it impacting the business? How do I know? And lastly, really being able to troubleshoot and understand what's wrong with my model, understand the root cause, the why behind your modeled predictions is pretty tough today. And so you have scenarios where data science leads and company execs are spending millions of dollars on machine learning annually and have no idea if it's even helping. The software world today has a lot of tools to actually help you test and validate your software before it's deployed into production, and then a set of tools to help you monitor and maintain it in production. In the modeling world, there's not a lot of tools out there to actually help you validate your models before they're in production or monitor it and make sure it's working when it's in production. And what that leads to is a lot of these challenges that we hear folks complain about every single day. Model drift, data distribution changes, black box models, data quality issues, and general model readiness. This is where Arise comes in. Arise is focused on ML observability. We're based in Berkeley, and we've built a team of experts from top AI companies. And Arise collects the inputs of the model, the features, the outputs of the model, the predictions, and built a platform built for distribution checks, feature analysis, prediction quality, and real-time model performance tracking and alerts. For more information, please reach out to us at contacts@arise.com. Happy to dive in deeper and talk ML observability.
Thank you, Aparna. Are you online? Anyone from Arise here with us? Okay, I guess we will move. Kalpi, can you play Access Security?
Your private business applications are the beating heart of your organization, but there's a huge disconnect between these core private apps and the people who need to use them. Because of this gap, third-party contractors get delayed in starting new projects, employees coming from M&A end up significantly delayed getting started, and for countless others, this major disconnect prevents them from accessing your core apps entirely, and this hurts your business. And what's causing this? The problem is in the approach. The way app access is provided today is fundamentally flawed. To safely connect specific users with specific apps, we built dedicated VPNs that tunnel them through the network to the private apps. This involves countless hours of designing, configuring, and managing just to keep these tunnels working properly. And with one slight change of device, location, or OS, the whole tunnel must be rebuilt from scratch. And this is done over and over and over again for every new user, every new device, every new location. How could it be that the method used for accessing our most vital business knowledge, our private apps, is making business more complicated? We need a new approach to private app access, one that turns the most essential part of our business into the smoothest and easiest as well. Access Security developed Application Access Cloud, a whole new approach that makes private app access amazingly simple. Instead of tunneling users through your network, they are brought directly to the app via a centralized location, the App Access Cloud, which mediates access between users and private apps without ever touching your network or the applications themselves. No VPN tunnels, no appliances, no agents, no lengthy deployment or complex configurations, no network security risks. Instead, users seamlessly connect to the apps they need to work in the simplest and most secure way possible. The core concept behind App Access Cloud is a zero-trust approach. The App Access Cloud continuously collects real-time user behavior data, analyzes the context of each access instance, and ensures the right users access the right apps. That way, giving access is more secure, while managing it is simpler as well. With the smoothest, safest way to connect users to the beating heart of your organization, you're now free to become the agile, flexible business built for today and the digital future.
Okay. Do we have someone from the company? Tamir? Anyone from Access Security? I'm not sure what the pattern is here. That's okay. Kalpi, please go to the next one, First Hive.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Aditya Bhamadipati. I'm the founder, CEO of First Hive. Thank you very much for this opportunity. We're obviously very, very excited to be selected as one of the Silicon Valley TiE50 companies for this year. It's a wonderful honor and a recognition that we cherish. First Hive is a customer data platform, and we basically support large enterprises in their journey to customer experience excellence. The challenge that we're solving is probably one of the oldest marketing challenge, which is how can enterprises be consistent, seamlessly relevant, and connect all the dots of their customers' interactions with the brand so that they're able to ensure that they are relevant in every interaction with a consumer. And therefore, they're able to, by being relevant, nudge the consumer in the right manner towards the transaction. Now, with the explosion of different tools and channels, enterprises eventually find themselves, dealing with a multi-headed hydra where there are multiple tools and multiple channels, each tool dealing with a data silo. And therefore, in all of this, the customer experience gets compromised. What First Hive delivers to these enterprises is a solution that helps them address and take this challenge head on. First Hive uses a range of technologies from text processing to image processing, video analytics, voice analytics, machine learning on identity building side, and so on and so forth, to really connect all of these unconnectable, so to say, breadcrumbs of customer interaction and draw insights from there and really build a single unified customer identity. Now, empowered with this unified customer identity, enterprises are able to now use this identity to enrich all of their tools, and therefore their existing stack performs significantly better than what it did before First Hive. Think of First Hive really as the CPU on the motherboard or the brain in a human body, which is now working on the side, playing on the side of the enterprise, allowing them to truly deliver a unified customer experience. I'm very excited that over 20 large enterprises across the globe use First Hive today, and we've been able to deliver some spectacular results for these enterprises. Some of the enterprises have seen up to 6 times increase in their marketing ROI metrics, which makes us very, very proud of what we're building here at First Hive. Thank you once again for giving us this opportunity, and we look forward to more conversations and interactions with you.
Okay. And do we have Aditya here with us live?
Yes, hi.
Hi, Aditya.
Hey, Raghu. Hi.
Hi, Aditya. Hey, congratulations. Looks like a great product. Can you tell us a little bit about the traction, the revenue, the customers, and so on?
No, absolutely. Like I said, we have about 20 plus large enterprises across banking, financial services, retail CPG, manufacturing using us today. We have customers across North America and Asia. And today we are at a scale where we are close to about 1 billion events a month that we process. And in terms of revenue, let me just leave it there, leave you with this, that today our typical customers, we have between 100,000 and 500,000 revenue bookings per customer over a 3-year contract. That's typically what we sign with these customers.
I see. And are you, and who's your, and when you go into these deals, and what are they using, or who's your competitor? How does the engagement work?
You're a veteran in this space, so I'm sure you really understand this space really, really well. There are 2 kinds of customers that we end up seeing in the marketplace. The ones who are very mature in their marketing stack, and who have a lot of clarity in terms of what each of these different stack components play in their, what role they're playing. And a lot of these where we go for the enterprise-wide deployment, more often than not, the CDP is not really there, and then we really become their first CDP deployment. Today, we bring in about 700 plus integrations out of the box. So we typically go ahead and connect with their CRMs, their ERPs, their point of sale, their automation tools, chatbots, and whatever else. And then there are some enterprises which are still on their journey to getting there, in which case we then go ahead with a use case approach where they already have a specific business use case and then it gets deployed for that. In which case, then the competition is slightly different than versus the typical CDP. Our competition becomes typically the more marketing automation kind of folks, because then it's a smaller use case with the short-term business case objective, which eventually becomes a path for us to land and expand into the enterprise-wide CDP. Otherwise, typically, our competition would be the core CDP folks like, Telium or Lytics.
Is there any particular vertical that seems to be, most responsive to what you guys have?
So while the product, as you know, is by design not constrained to go to a vertical, our focus has been on 3 verticals, which is financial services as one, and we've seen a lot of traction in financial services, whether it's banks, fund houses, or insurance players, and so on. So financial services has been a big play. Distribution has been the second vertical that we've gone with, and within that, there are of course subcategories of CPG, auto, manufacturing, and so on, and we've seen a lot of traction there. We've in fact been surprised by some very, very interesting use cases that we've seen deployment in the otherwise considered to be traditional industries in the distribution segment. The third vertical that we are now beginning to go after is the more digital first companies. These don't typically meet our typical ICPs of commercial or large enterprises from a revenue standpoint, but from a marketing tech stack, complexity, and the scale of events, that is the third vertical that we're beginning to go after.
I think, Raghu, maybe in the
How do you
interest
deal
of time.
with
Vamsi, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Last question, and then we'll switch the company. Please go ahead.
How do you deal with the data privacy, GDPR compliance issues? Does any of your verticals have to deal with that, and how do you handle that?
Oh no, that's a great question. In fact, the whole regulatory evolution has actually, I think, been yet another catalyst for enterprises adopting a CDP. Because if you look at the focus of a customer data platform like FirstHive, it is first-party opt-in data. That's the fundamental focus. We are essentially creating unified data assets of the first-party data that the enterprise has access to, legitimate opt-ins, but they're strewn all over the place and they don't have control. And therefore, they have low ability to deliver trust on that data. Whereas we help them, apart from the fact that we are unifying this data and making it more actionable, cutting down data latency, and so on and so forth, from a marketing standpoint, we actually help them navigate their data privacy goals as well. So data privacy is good for us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Aditya.
Thank you so much, folks. Thanks for the opportunity.
Kalpi, if you can play the next company, I think Growth Plug.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sudhir Bahati, and I'm the CEO and co-founder here at Growth Plug. Growth Plug enables healthcare practices to grow and modernize. Let's get started. From a problem standpoint, healthcare practices are trying to address 3 core areas. How do I acquire new patients? How do I make sure that my patients get the best experience? And how can I introduce more automation in my office? At Growth Plug, we are looking at about 300,000 doctors across the country. And these doctors are spread across these 7 different practice categories. Dentistry has been one of our biggest verticals, followed by eye care clinics, med spas, dermatologists, and a few more that you can see on your screen. Why is this important right now? When, as a patient, you are trying to find the best practitioner near you, you have to ensure that you can search for the right practitioner, look up their online reputation, and then finally ensure they can offer the right patient experience on their digital presence. With Growth Plug, healthcare practitioners can generate new patients, automate their practice, and also have their patients review them online very easily. GrowthPlug can be consumed by a healthcare practice in a monthly subscription format, where we have 3 different offerings for them, beginning at about $500 a month, and it can go as high as $1,100 a month. We have a multi-dimensional go-to-market strategy, beginning with inside sales, current customer referrals, web marketing, and we're also talking with some of the biggest EMRs out there. From a competitor standpoint, as you can see, the competitors are spread across 4 different buckets: reputation management and messaging, appointment scheduling and reminders, web presence management, and business listings. With GrowthPlug, healthcare practices can get an all-in-one healthcare SaaS. And along with that, they get great support from our side. So if you are a healthcare office, you get a tangible and measurable ROI from our side. Customer acquisition. We are currently serving hundreds of healthcare practices across the country. Despite the fact that we are currently in a pandemic, the current month, we acquired 15 new customers in August 20, and this has been one of our biggest months ever. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak here, and if you have any more questions, you can find my email address on the screen. Thanks once again.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I'll hold off questions because our firm is invested in Sudhir and we're big fans. So let me, maybe Vamsi, you have questions.
Sure. Good to see you, Raghu.
Likewise, Sudhir.
Hey. So you said you have 15 customers in August. Can you step back and give me an overall picture of your customer traction, your monthly ARPUs and annual ARPUs?
Yeah, so we have a few hundred customers in low hundreds, I would call it, without going into the numbers specifically. Last year, we went past $1 million in annual recurring revenue, and we are hoping to, close to 2x it to 2.5x it by the end of this year.
Okay, and you're primarily small and medium healthcare outlets are your primary customers. They are the ones who are not like the big hospital chains or anything.
Exactly. So we are targeting healthcare practices which are between 1 to 15, 20 locations. That has been our sweet spot. And 90% of our customers are in the dentistry vertical.
Okay. Is there any plans to get into the urgent care market at all?
Oh, so far we have seen that, GrowthPlug can be leveraged by different kind of healthcare practices, but because of our sales team size, we have been more focused on the dental market. But as we grow and expand our team, absolutely, we can look at the urgent care market also.
I saw your competition slide. How does the pricing compare with all your competition? Is the pricing, is it a norm, the pricing that you have, those 3?
Yeah, so we have 3 tiers. When we go into a practice, we are mostly replacing and consolidating 2 or 3 of their existing tools. So they may have a patient experience software or a reputation management software or a web presence management software. So with GrowthPlug, they can replace 2 or 3 of those tools with one single software that is offering them a better ROI so they can save their cost and generate more patients for the practice.
How do you see yourself going 20x, 50x from here?
For us, it's more about making sure that we can expand our sales team on one side. And on the other side, how can we collaborate? How can we partner with some of the biggest EMRs out there to have a new go-to-market channel, which we have just started exploring now. And that's how we can go from a few hundred to a few thousand healthcare practices across the country.
Very good. Yeah, I saw you at TiE Angels meeting as well in Silicon Valley. Yeah, very exciting.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Kalpi, if you can queue up the next company, please. Ordway.
Your solution that makes good on the promise of automating sales to finance workflow as you scale and change? There is now. The Ordway Billing and Revenue Automation Platform is the only flexible bridge between your CRM, operational systems, and general ledger that actually performs invoicing, payments collections, business insights, and revenue recognition tasks in between. Ordway was launched by Samir Gulati, who spent the last 2 decades building billion-dollar enterprise software. He realized that rigid, boxed-in CRM and ERP technologies ultimately fail because no two businesses have the same sales to finance workflows. Today, we're automating order to revenue operations for companies around the world.
I think at the end of the day, the biggest benefit of Ordway is just this absolute comfort in our numbers and knowing that they're accurate. What kept bringing us back to Ordway was the fact that it was customizable and it was super powerful.
It's very automated for us. It saves us a lot of time, reduces error on our end. I'm able to pull information from Salesforce into Ordway and vice versa. We're able
to work in really complex billing schedules that are just a part of being in this industry. So whether you're considering the waterfall effect of billings or the usage-based effect of billing, it helps customize and calculate that at a click of a button and being able to present that in an invoice the way we'd like and email them out to the customers.
Ordway's, I believe, has extended the lifespan of QuickBooks because a lot of the transactional side is taken care of inside Ordway. I do not need to worry about the check receipts from customers, the credit card processing, details of the customer, reconciliation back to QuickBooks. It all works.
If I want to see something about a specific client, I can pull up a whole overview. And if I want to see how something is linked, like where a credit came from or what orders were made up on this invoice, it's easy for me to just click on one and it brings me to everything I need.
In the past, our monthly close took anywhere from 15 to 25 days. Once we got Ordway up to speed, the close is as quick as we want it.
I've been able to spend less time on tracking invoices and payments, which is huge because that was basically my main job, and there was probably about 3 to 5 of us working in the billing team.
The time savings we've had from implementing Ordway actually really opens up my day to be able to spend more time working directly with our CEO on things that are critically important and strategic for the business.
That was my debut as a movie star. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. So I have to ask you, I mean, why this when there's so many companies that seem to have been doing this for a while? And I'm thinking of companies like Zora or Aria Systems or even Recurly, the little guys. I mean, how do you guys stack up against all those guys?
That's a great question and the perfect tee up. And I didn't give you any kind of advanced tip.
No,
so Samir Gulati founded Ordway 3 years ago, and he was actually the first product manager at Zora. He was the first product manager at Intact and was there for 7 years. And so you can look up his pedigree maybe on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And he realized after 20 years of building billing systems that each one of them have limitations and that they're not able to keep up with the current change and new products and new billing models. And so he built Ordway. We rolled it out in production a couple of years ago. And we are having customers move to us from Zora, from SaaS Optics, from ChargeBee. If your billing never changes and is $9.99 a month and the customer has no impact on that, no negotiation, anything like that, there's a lot of systems that can do that. Our unique fit is in companies like most of yours where you are looking for the fit. You might change your business model, you might acquire a company, and you need the flexibility. It's also a little bit of a different approach in that we connect to the CRM in an integrated fashion, And so when your orders are processed through your CRM, HubSpot, or Salesforce, they truly are automated into our platform. And we do the end-to-end processing of invoices, dunning, revenue recognition, and then we export an integrated number into NetSuite, QuickBooks, Xero, etc.
Okay. And what is the customer traction like? I mean, the video was pretty slick, but you know, how many customers and what's the pricing and what's the company's revenue right now, if I can ask?
Yeah, we actually don't share a lot of that information. We are growing incredibly fast. I was brought on to lead the sales team a couple of months ago, and I have built sales teams. I was early in Splunk, if anyone knows that name. And so for me, I wanted to join a company that's really, truly transformational. And Ordway, no one has solved the sales to revenue workflow after the sale. And so we're not looking for funding at the moment. We're certainly happy to receive this award. We are perfectly happy with our investment from CRV, with Clock Towers participating earlier this year, and we are growing, but we wanted to make sure that we got the word out and appreciate the award.
Okay, I think that's awesome.
Well,
Kalpi, if you can cue. Okay, go ahead.
I might have one question.
Please.
So typically, I mean, most of the time, you probably have one competitor that you're displacing when you go into companies. Is that Zora, or what is who do you displace?
Yeah, it's a great question. We are displacing Zora as sort of on the high end, where the market fit right now is below the typical Zora customer. Mm-hmm. And we are having people from Recurly, ChargeBee, SaaS Optics move over to us at a pretty fast clip.
Okay.
And it's just, I'll say one more thing. For a lot of the companies on this call, you build your business, you start making sales, you have one person in accounting, and you can keep up with things on spreadsheets. Oftentimes you'll move to SaaS Optics right after that. They've got a great messaging and not a bad product. But what happens when the change starts happening and you need to address your customers' needs, look at all the change that's introduced by COVID, and you're needing to give special pricing. That's really where Ordway fits. It's the most flexible operational bridge available.
Okay.
Thank you, Ordway.
Thank you.